No, you're not.
I am for real chanting. I am dancing and chanting. I mean, performing.
Yeah, okay. So,
It's going to be so much fun.
oh, is that what Jack Larimer was talking about?
Oh,
Is
no,
that-
that's something else.
There's what else are you doing?
We won't talk about that.
Wait,
one.
so I've known you forever and ever. I didn't know that you were doing a dancing thing.
That I'm a unicorn. You knew that.
I know but I didn't know that you were actively involved in anything like that. So
Yes, I saw you roll your eyes.
no,
You can't help yourself.
no, I
anymore.
can't. No, I can't because I just just wondering what.
It's a beautiful. It's going to be
sure
a
it is.
beautiful event.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
is there costumes? Do we have
Yes,
cultural?
we will be wearing certain outfits.
Will there be feathers?
No, but
Boas?
there'll be coconut leaves.
Will
and
there be
stuff.
beer?
No.
I'll go if there's beer.
There'll be a spiritual enlightening though, and you can get closer to our ancestors.
Swear to God, I'm trying not to roll my eyes now. Just
Stop it.
just saying it's
Stop
7:33 in the morning. More of the Ray Gibson Show. This is like talk radio team. It's like it's the morning zoo with Ray and Donna and Denise and Joe. More of it coming up.
Guam, get ready. Wendy's Mandarin Chicken Salad is back. It's time to burst with flavor with the island's favorite salad. Fresh, flavorful, and island vibes in every bite. Made with mandarin oranges, crunchy almonds, crispy noodles, grilled chicken, and all tossed in that irresistible Asian sesame dressing. Don't miss the citrusy comeback everyone's been waiting for. Tangy, tasty, and totally refreshing, just the way you remember it. Swing by your nearest Wendy's location and grab your Mandarin Chicken Salad today.
Kim Anderson from Security Title here, sharing an important tip about how you own your property. Do you know that there are several ways to hold title? You can be a sole owner, hold title as community property with your spouse, as joint tenants with rights of survivorship as tenants in common, or even through a trust or LLC. Each option impacts inheritance, control, and how your property can be transferred in the future. Your family attorney can help you determine what's best to avoid legal issues and protect your investment. And when you're ready to record, call the professionals at Security Title. We are here to help.
Okay, good news here. 7:34 in the program. Portions of the Ray Gibson Show being brought to you by Beyond the Box, first floor of the Micronesia Mall. Can't miss them. That's where you go for your technology. I mean, if there's something that you need in your digital life, maybe you need that big Bluetooth speaker so you can take it to the beach and annoy people with your peculiar musical taste. They got plenty of them over there. And they've got, likewise, for those of you that have manners, they have things that go in your ear so only you can hear. It's a headphone, a pleasant area where you can get the Bluetoothy things that go in your ear. Or, as Real Joe and I have, the things that go near your ear, the shocks, which are absolutely incredible. Every time I put them on, I am amazed, number one, at the volume, and number two, I'm amazed at the sonic clarity that comes out, because you don't think it would. Your brain says there's no way that it could be touching the bone in your ears on the side of your head, and that conduction or induction or whatever gets to the little tiny bones inside your ear, and it makes the same. It's the same as if you had something actually in your ear. So they're perfect for athletes, runners, walkers, strollers, because you can hear what's going on around you. You can hear when there might be a car.
Stop telling them my secrets.
Sorry,
bro.
bro. Yeah, yes, but
Don't go there.
I'm telling no. So and ask for they've got a bunch of different versions of the shocks.
They're too good.
They've got some for swimmers, and swimmers swear by this. But they've got some that will hold on to music. They got some that will Bluetooth to your Garmin watch. So certain Garmin watches will hold your music in there as well. And if you just want to use it so that you can make and receive phone calls, they work for that as well. Check out the new ones, because I think the old ones. Does yours have a USB port to charge, or is it magnetic?
It's magnetic.
Okay, so they've got the new versions of them, I believe, have a USB
Oh, so mine's
thing.
old now. I got to get the new one.
Old and busted. Get the new one waiting for you. Beyond the Box, first floor of the Micronesia Mall. Ray Gibson Show also being brought to you by the referral team over at Take Care. And FYI, if you were watching on the YouTube side, YouTube bumped me for some reason, so I've had to restart that feed. Looks like it's back on right now. So if I didn't chase you away, I did not ghost you. YouTube ghosted me, so you're welcome to go back there. There was a great conversation going on between a couple of guys, debate, if you will, about food stamps, etc. And so maybe that will come up again as part of the generic conversation that's taking place on that side. 7:36. Quick look at what's happening happening on the roadways, or you know what? I'm going to make this last as long as it needs to so that you know what's going on. All right, so all that traffic that was working its way up to the front gate of Anderson Air Force Base looks like that's gone now. Likewise, we were talking about the fun ride that occurs somewhere between the Woostig area and the Isang Song, that whole Ipaupau land, and it's got a long line of people trying to get through there as well. No major northbound traffic in the area. It's everybody stuck on that one light. Southbound from there, things are looking pretty good. A lot of intersection traffic, and then traffic over on Route 3 trying to spill onto Marine Corps Drive. Nothing major at the Micronesia Mall, but it is starting to get a little bit busy. Likewise, going to get busy at the Harmon Loop McDonald's down there, southbound to 8, 10, and 16. Not as bad as it was this time yesterday. A little bit of traffic right at the intersection of 8, 10, and 16. Maybe a little bit of traffic just before you get to Tammy Post Office. Otherwise, the rest of it is traffic on Route 8 in both directions, trying to get onto that one good intersection that takes you into Teedson, where the old Rev and Tax was, Denise. Let me see. Southbound, inbound traffic on Route 8 running clear. Nothing major after you get past the intersection at Golden Sea. Route 10 and 15, that intersection's running cool. And basic intersection traffic on most of Route 4. It's not crazy just yet because maybe it's still a little bit early. All right, so downtown, everything is running clear. I don't see any major traffic to slow you down. Whatever was slowing things down over at Adeloop is gone. Just a little bit of traffic near the cemetery in Petey, and a little bit of traffic over at the main gate at Big Navy. So that's all you need to worry about right about now. 7:38, that's your traffic on the point.
APL, global presence with a local home. APL is a U.S. flag shipping company, delivering from the U.S., Asia, and Europe with weekly arrivals to Guam and Saipan. Our local Guam team is committed to serving all your logistical needs. Call us at 588-4651 or visit apl.com. When the islands sing, we listen. Join us for a night of rhythm and community at Sounds for Sinlaku on Friday, May 22nd. Head over to the Office Lounge in Manilao, right behind KFC, for an incredible lineup of homegrown talent. Enjoy the night while supporting our brothers and sisters of the CNMI. All proceeds will benefit them. Vibes start at 4 p.m. and go all the way till midnight. Tickets are just $20 at the door to include food, a drink, and a raffle for a chance to win the grand prize. Don't miss out on the music, the message, and the movement. Sounds for Sinlaku is brought to you by Jam Sessions and Mariana's Climate Change Alliance. Supported by us, Boss 104, The Point, and Star 101.
Ray Gibson Show, 20 minutes away from the top of the hour. Portions brought to you by I just got a note from these guys over at the Marianas Open. They've got this Damao thing tournament coming up, and I got to get with Steve to figure out what a Damao is. I don't know. Is like a because it's a jiu-jitsu thing. Is it a place or is it a kind of jiu-jitsu tournament?
I don't know.
Okay, well,
it's probably a threat.
I'm gonna. Yeah. I'll find the write-up and talk about that in just a little bit. In the meantime, if you're wondering about the Marianas Open, it's Steve Shimizu and his crew have put together this thing, and it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous concept, right? So besides pickleball, jiu-jitsu is like the next big, and high rocks. Jiu-jitsu is one of the fastest growing sporting events that they've got, and a lot of people are getting into it, and it's super family friendly. And there's a lot of dojos that we've got, a lot of gyms, jiu-jitsu gyms that are popping up here on Guam, and so they want to have a tournament. And they're going, but how do we get people from off-island to participate in the tournaments? Well, they go off-island to where the other jiu-jitsu guys are. And so one of the things they did just recently was one in the Philippines. And after the final analysis, after they looked at all the media coverage, all the people that were in attendance, even the people in the Philippines said this was the biggest jiu-jitsu tournament we've ever had, like in all of the Philippines. And they're going to be doing it in Korea. They're going to be doing it in Hong Kong. They're going to be doing it in Taiwan. And then they're going to bring everybody back after they've been around. They're going to bring everybody back and have big-ass jiu-jitsu deals here on Guam. So the Marianas Open, if you don't know too much about it, go find Steve or Lloyd Cabacub. Because Lloyd's the guy that I've been getting a whole bunch of email and communications from. So if you now you know, and I think all the jiu-jitsu guys on Guam know about it as well. So just ask them if you want details on the upcoming Marianas Opens. It's 7:41.
The Coconut Wireless is back. The Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
I guess they did the ballot pulling over at the Guam Election Commission last night.
Yeah, they did.
Well, I don't know. I don't have that. I don't have the list yet.
They did.
I should have asked Tattoo Sean about that just a little bit ago. Somebody sent me a
Marina's
picture.
calling next hour.
Is she okay?
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. So
stay
we'll
right
hear from her.
there.
I got this. Now I don't know what exactly this means. So I got this from Kane, Dwayne, and Joe S. San Augustine, and it's a picture. Oh, that should be on the screen here. There it is. Okay, so it's a picture of them and their wives standing in front of the Guam Election Commission, holding up 3 fingers.
Oh, the finger. Oh,
They're-
3.
Does that mean that they're number 3 on the Democratic ballot? That would make sense.
That's a
I think number
three-finger
1.
exploding heart attack.
Hold on, because I saw a picture of Therese Terlahi and Sabine holding up the number 1. So maybe they are number 1 on the ballot.
Okay.
These guys are number 3, and
I
that would
get
make
it
Josh and Tina number 2. Careful with your insinuations there, ladies and gentlemen. So I guess things are moving along. There are other certifications that took place. I think some of that was written down somewhere. What's that? Oh, thank you, Sean. He just sent it to me. Governor, Lieutenant Governor. All right, there's the placement now. They did the draw. This is what your ballot is going to look like for the primary election. For Governor and Lieutenant Governor, Ada Calvo team is number 1. Blas Okada, number 2. U.S. House of Representatives, Mary Torres at number 1. Jim Moylan at number 2. For the 29th Guam Legislature, this will take me a second to get to. For the Republicans, we start with number 1, Jess Lujan. Dr. 2 is Dr. Wen. Number 3 is John Savars. Number 4,
Jonathan.
Joe Ariola. Number 5 is Senator Sean Gumatau. Go, man. Go. Japanese for 5. Go.
There you
That's
go.
how you remember it.
Filet of latte.
Matero. Made me mess up Mateo's name. Mateo Mortera at number 6. Ding Scambalori, number 7. Shelley Calvo, number 8. Telo Taitagui at number 9. Number 10, Alexander Duenas. Luisa Borja at number 11. Let me see. I think she's got a fundy.
Tonight.
Might be tonight. Yeah,
Tonight.
go to ThePOINT.gu on the World Wide Web. I got a couple of fundies in there for senatorial candidates. Where was I? Senator number 12. Bree Matanani. Number 13 is Greg Calvo. 14 is Chris Duenas.
Re-elect.
Re-elect, that's right. Number 15 is Will Castro. Number 16, Vince Borja. Brandon Vera at number 17. And number 18 is Bob Beneventi. All right, on the Democrat side, thank you, Sean, for the completeness. Number 1 is the Terlahi Perez team. Number 2, Tenorio Muña. And number 3, there it is. That's why it makes sense now, San Augustine, San Nicolas. There's only one person running for the House of Representatives on the Democrat side. That's Alicia Limtiaco. And 18 people running for senator on the Democrat side. At number 1, Angel Sablan, former director of the Department of Parks and Recreation.
Uncle.
And
Good
Chief
morning, Uncle.
Yeah, Uncle Anghet at number 1 there, and former chief of the Mayor's Council. Angela Santos at number 2. Will Parkinson, number 3. Ken Cruz, number 4. Clint Rigel, former Senator Clint Rigel at number 5. Senator Amanda Shelton, that's former Senator Amanda Shelton at number 6. Jerry Yingling at number 7. Cousin Freddie Berdallo at number 8. Dave Duenas, number 9. Lillian Guerrero at number 10. Senator Chris Barnett at number 11. Sarah Neteduk at number 12. There's Donna Munya Kinata at number 13. This doesn't show all of her names, but just a note here. I think it's a law now. We have to have at least one Munya at the legislature at all times. And if Tina's running for governor, we're going to scooch Donna into the twin into the position. There's Callan Perez at number 14. Did I say that right?
Yes.
It is Perez.
Callan.
Yeah.
And
I could be wrong.
Number 15, Senator Roy Kanata, former Senator, Hamburger Roy Kanata. Anthony Tyron. It's my Nyau's brother, is number 16.
Nyau's brother.
And number 17.
Veteran show?
Yeah, the one from the Veteran Show. That's him. Ken Taitagui at number 17. And returning, perhaps, Senator Telena Nelson at number 18. and Talena. I don't know.
Talena.
I just know
Talena.
the dad is brother Ted. That's
Talena,
all.
Talena.
That's all I need to know. And so there we are. That's the way the cookie crumbled over at the Guam Election Commission last night. And there will be many people on the online things, etc., that are going to be lamenting the fact that there is no independent ballot with Charlie and Jeff. Frankly, I don't think there should be an independent ballot. I think if you're not running as a Republican or Democrat, what's the point of showing up for the primary?
Yeah.
You should just go straight to the general election. But that's not the way the law is written here on Guam.
Right.
747, who's on the phone?
Fernando.
Hi, Estevez.
Estevez.
Man, I always between
Estevez
you
or
and
Estevez?
the other Estevez, I always confuse you guys.
Emilio.
Oh, I like him.
This is the Gura Estevez, as opposed to the other Estevez who's over at the Department of Public Works, right?
Yeah, Ungan.
Ungan, thank you.
They're not twins, man.
Hey, can you tell them to work on that?
Twins.
Can you tell them to work on that road in front of DPW? They don't listen to me when I say it on the radio. But somebody spent some good money, and they've got this ripple now at the intersection of Marine Corps Drive and Donkey Village. And I got this Nissan Frontier, 4-wheel drive, and even in that 4-wheel drive, it still makes my molars the fillings start to feel like they're falling out. Can you tell them? You guys are tight. You just call him up and say, "Hey, bro, Ray said."
Ray, I think you got his number too.
Actually, that's true. Actually, that is true. I could probably do the same thing myself, but it's more fun for me to tell you to do it.
Fair enough.
Bro. Take care of Ray, or I'll throw trash in your bed. So 7:48 in the morning. There was a story that we had yesterday about the fixes, and right now it's means tested. That is, if my income is too high, I might not be able to avail myself of some of these federal recovery funds from Marwar. But the story, and I thought it was kind of interesting. You were telling people not to disqualify themselves for a couple of reasons. For our listeners, can you tell me why you think it might be a good idea to just go ahead and take a chance on the application anyways?
Yeah. Well, first, are you talking about the PDN story?
Yeah, I must be.
Yeah, I caught it, and he did me like Donald Trump. He just took a little blurb and then ran that.
Oh my
but
God!
Thanks for calling. The context is important.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a hard requirement that 70% of the total grant goes to low to moderate income households, which is 80% of the area median income or lower. Right now, if
for clarity, what is the number? So 80. What is the median income on Guam?
It's around 76,000, 76 to 78. It just got adjusted, and that's on our website.
Okay.
And that's at 100% AMI, right, for a family of 4. So it depends on the family side, and there are things that are included in the calculation, things that are not, that can be excluded. Anyways, so you're right. It is means tested for final approval, right? But there's that hard requirement, and HUD can waive that down. They can say, okay, Guam, we see your data. We see that there's an unmet need for households that are higher than the
Than
LMI,
that 80%.
which is 80%, correct. And, based on your data, we'll grant you a waiver, right, that, you only need to spend 60% towards this federal requirement. And once we're able to do that, then we can say, okay, now let's expand the program. Those that applied that are higher income that got denied, we still have your record, right? We still have your position in line and everything. Now we're going to be able to open it up for, a higher bracket. I don't know if that's going to be 90% AMI, if that's going to be 100, 120 AMI.
Wow.
That's all going to be dependent on, what waiver HUD approves and based on the data that we can support. So when we tell people just everybody apply, right, because that's a hard demonstration, people apply and go through that process, for us to send that data back to HUD and say, look, there is a need here. Right, we understand what the federal requirement is, but here's the reality here on Guam, right? And if we have additional monies and there's this need, can we do this higher threshold?
Brought in the waiver.
Correct, subject to the waiver. So of course it's subject to the waiver, but 2 birds with 1 stone, right? Hey, we do want to make sure that we are prioritizing low to moderate income households like we're required to,
right?
And there's that need. But we also want to look to the future because we know the community. We know there are middle income households that are struggling right now, right? Many of them are, and they don't get assistance. And so we want to make sure that door is open up for them, right, for the middle class. But we need the data to support that, right? I can do surveys, but surveys aren't strong, right?
But so it'd be better if you could get a big file folder full of applications from all kinds of people. And I see what you're saying. So if you do better than $62,000 or so a year, you might not be eligible immediately for the program. But if we start to see more and more need at higher income numbers, then it gets easier to go back to the Fed and ask for those waivers and see if they can be brought into the program.
Yeah, especially if there's still money in the pot, right? We want to get this money out to the community. We're not trying to return any of it, but we want to we're already thinking ahead to the next steps, right? I don't want to be left, 3 years down the road asking for a waiver. I want to get those waivers in now while we can project what the need is, right? And not be crossing our fingers on these last minute acts that maybe, some other agencies and grant administrators do. We see and take all those lessons and see and say, hey, these are not going to be the pitfalls that we're going to fall into. We're going to project this as far as we can, right, and back it up with data so that we're not, running into the situation where we have to return a single dollar.
Well, is it also possible that there could be adjustments on the Fed side, depending on how many waivers we start asking for in future? Taking a look at the median income and using that as you said, we'll call 76,000 100%, but maybe start the next waiver program at a higher percentage, maybe at 100%, 110% plus, so that we can get it out to as many people as possible. I think that I don't know that this benefit should be means tested, is what I'm trying to say. But if it is there a way that we can look at that and say, all right, we want to take care of the community, not just low to middle income?
Absolutely, and the reason we're doing the right is because we also got to make sure from the numbers aspect, right? There's still that hard requirement to expend at least 70% to LMI, right? And so without mean testing for a little bit in the beginning, right, that's why the application window's only running 3 months, right? And we can open it up again, but this is to get that, okay, here's what we're looking at right now, right? And here's what we're projecting to spend towards LMI. Because here's the big risk. If we overspend on non-LMI, right, and let's say I spend 31% non-LMI, then no matter what we do, we're not going to hit that 70%, right? We're already going to be in non-compliance, right? There's already going to be issues. So our plan is, okay, let's front load all the LMI things. Once we have a solid projection of the 70%, let's see what we can do. Let's see what waivers we can ask for. We want to get all the waivers in before the end of year 2, right? And that gives us the best chance for those approvals.
So is there an application online that people listening right now saying, okay, that sounds fair to me. So you front load, as you say, all the low to middle income applications, get those guys taken care of, go back to the Fed and say, we've still got applications that we can process if you give us the waiver. So I can see what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you'd
also people are applying.
Yeah, well,
of all incomes. We just want more. We just want everyone. We just don't want people to say oh, I read the chart. Right, I know I don't qualify. Just start that application because your place is saved. Once you start that application process, we procured the license for a software. Right, we're working with that specializes in this. So this is not a paper thing. It's you know what I mean. All of this is marked and tagged and for audit and everything. And so that's where we're also going to pull the data, right, to make our case to the federal government. And if we can support that position, then, that's going to help more people.
Okay, so this is a lot clearer in my head now. If you said if I was to get a waiver on this, I would still get access to capital, but not the same amount. So I'd only get 60.
It would be the same.
Everybody gets the same 60%.
How much funding is left, maybe it'll come down a little bit. Or we can even look at this all right, you know what? Maybe there's not enough funds to do all these projects, but maybe we can have, reform it and have a reimbursement, right? Hey, if you did expend costs on repairs, right? Maybe for the middle income and maybe we can reimburse some of those, right? So there are options there, but this is why we have to get to launch because, I don't want any analysis paralysis, right? We can take a guess all day, but hard data is very useful, right?
Is it application on the website?
Yes, absolutely. We have, I think, over 300 in-process applications, and I think close to 50 completed so far since we've launched.
Okay, all right. Where do my listeners find it?
So if you go to the Guam CDBG-DR or you .org,
There's
or
that
you
name
can
again.
go to. I tried to make it simpler. You can go to
BG's.
CDBG-DR, right?
Okay,
or you
I'm
can
here.
go to a tiny URL, which is Fix in 6.
All right, I'm there.
Either
I'm
web
there
search.
now, and wrote there. It is Fix in 2, 6 years of action. My application portal, where it says application portal. Click on that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it. Speaking of applications, you guys have got a job fair coming up?
We do. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Yeah, on the 22nd. What we're trying to do is these positions are focused on building capacity at the permitting agencies, and this is something that the feds do. That's why a lot of the Department of War projects keep moving, because they supplement some of the local agencies, right, with resources to help the building their capacity. And then the agreement is that they're prioritizing and moving along the Department of War projects. And we're just doing the same, right? We're like, okay, we're going to increase your capacity, but we need for the people we're putting there, we need priority on our projects, right? So they're not going to be delayed, and we're able to move them on and spend this money before the deadline. And so this is so the list we got are, based on what the agency's saying they need to get these permits. And of course, we're going to be monitoring it, and we expect results, right? If we're going to be putting federal money towards these agencies for a product or service.
Right.
Right.
No point in standing up your program if there's nobody on the other side of the counter to take care of the job. Yeah. So
because we don't want to be like throw our hands up and say, oh no, we tried, and blame someone else. We're not interested in that. The end state, the end goal is to get this money spent, right, for the programs we said we were going to do. We put out to the public based on their feedback and comments, and make sure the audit is clean. That's success.
Notable goals, Mr. Esteves. And I appreciate the clarity on this, and it sounds like it's going to be easy for people to go and sign up. Now, I'm thinking about my Mawar damage that I had, and I lost one of those tarps from ERC, and I had to replace it because it got all torn up and everything, and there might be a couple of other things. I mean, we're not talking about a whole lot of money, but I think that would be sufficient to put down. Cracked window maybe for folks?
Things like that. Yeah, definitely the structural stuff, right? Rehabilitation. If you look at the priority list that we've put out, one of our biggest priorities are getting people back in their homes, right? There are still people who, haven't been able to move home because, they need their windows and doors replaced or the weatherhead hasn't been repaired, right? So that's priority one, right? Low-hanging fruit is get those people back in their homes.
I got you. I got music playing in the background, so I'm going to have to let you boogie. No, appreciate your time here this morning. I appreciate the clarity on the subject. I mean, I knew that the data was important for us to gather, and that's why it was important for people sign up, whether you think you're eligible or not. But it's nice to know that you've got a plan to be able to expand the program outside of low to middle income individuals and families, so that middle income folks might be able to take advantage of some of this federal dollars that's coming through.
Sir.
And it also provides a little bit more clarity. Because I'm still kind of fuzzy on the whole Fix in 6 idea, but now it is becoming clear how that's going to be used in future. 8 o'clock, got to let you run. It's time for Fox News and The Point.
Meeting with China's President Xi Jinping, President Trump told Fox's Hannity she offered assistance and denied helping Iran with weapons.
He joked. He said, it's sort of, if they stopped it, then you stop them. But they'd like to see it opened. But they actually closed it.
China gets a lot of oil from the Strait of Hormuz. Iran closed the strait after the U.S. launched Operation Epic Fury. The U.S. then blockaded Iranian ports. The entire interview airs tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. China's official news agency put out a statement saying Taiwan is the biggest issue between the two countries, and there could be confrontations if it's not handled properly. CIA Director John Ratcliffe has met with his counterparts in Havana. The Cuban government said in a statement that the meeting served as a platform for Cuba to present evidence that the nation poses no threat to U.S. national security. So far, no comment from the State Department. And the U.S. will give Cuba $100 million in humanitarian aid. The Office of the Director of National Intelligence disputes reports that it was raided by the CIA.
A spokeswoman for the DNI's office called the account, citing allegations by Florida GOP Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, false. Luna has claimed files on the Kennedy assassination and the CIA experimentation project MKUltra that studied behavior modification were taken. MKUltra is a matter Congresswoman Luna, as chair of the House Oversight Task Force on Declassifying Federal Secrets, said she would like to hold a hearing about. Spokeswoman Olivia Coleman, in her one-line post on X, said the CIA did not raid the DNI's office.
Fox's Gernal Scott. The Supreme Court preserving access to the widely used abortion pill mifepristone at pharmacies or through the mail without a doctor visit while a lawsuit plays out. America's listening to Fox News.
Michelob Ultra wants to send you to watch the FIFA World Cup from now through June 15th. Purchase 12 packs of Michelob Ultra or Bud Family and scan the QR code inside for your chance to win one of 2 trips to watch matches in Miami or Philadelphia. Plus, every QR code gets you points for current Guam rewards. Must be 21 to enter. No purchase necessary. See currentguam.com for details. Michelob Ultra reminds you to enjoy responsibly.
Introducing Nissan Guam's exclusive first-time buyer program. Perfect for those with little or no credit history, no co-signer required. It's simple. You apply, we approve. You drive away in your brand new Nissan. Low monthly payments, perfect for any budget. Get started on your finance pre-qualification at nissanguam.com or call their helpful sales team at 671-647-7261 today. On approved credit, conditions apply. See Nissan Guam for details.
Now,
Senators agree they won't get paid during future government shutdowns.
Senators unanimously passed a resolution to have their salaries withheld during shutdowns. It directs the Secretary of the Senate to withhold pay whenever a government shutdown affects one or more federal agencies. Too long shutdowns in less than a year put financial strain on those federal employees working without pay. Like those employees, senators would get back pay when the shutdown's over and the checks restart. Louisiana Republican John Kennedy sponsored the bill. It takes effect November 4th, the day after the midterms. The 27th Amendment to the Constitution, proposed in 1789 and ratified in 1992, prohibits any law that changes congressional salaries until after the next election. Chris Foster, Fox News.
The resolution does not apply to the House, which would have to pass its own bill. Members of Congress are paid a base salary of $174,000 a year. An Oklahoma judge has allowed Richard Glossip, who was nearly executed 3 times, to be released on bond while awaiting a retrial for the 1997 killing of his former boss. The Supreme Court ruled last year prosecutors' decision to allow a key witness to give testimony they knew to be false violated Glossip's right to a fair trial. He has to pay 10% of his $500,000 bond and is not allowed to have contact with any witnesses in the case. Ahead of America's 250th birthday, a new report shows America is showing its age with notable weaknesses in areas of national well-being.
The U.S. placed 18th overall in U.S. News and World Report's new rankings of the best countries. While we're first place when it comes to culture and tourism and second best for economic development, challenges related to public health outcomes, social cohesion, and public safety in particular pulled down the country's overall standing. We drop all the way to 33rd place for health, 29th for infrastructure, and 41st for civic health. The best country overall was determined to be Switzerland, followed by Denmark and Sweden. Angola came in dead last.
Fox's Gianna Gelosi. I'm Lee Silasera. This is Fox News.
May is Stroke Awareness Month, and it's crucial to recognize the signs. Do you know BFAST? BEFAST. It stands for balance, eyes, face, arms, speech, and time. These are the symptoms you need to watch out for. Let me break this down for you. BFAST: balance issues, sudden trouble with vision, facial drooping, arm weakness, slurred speech, and it's time to call emergency services. Remember, folks, when it comes to strokes, time is brain. Act fast, save a life. Learn the BFAST symptoms today. Brought to you by Guam Regional Medical City, advocating for stroke awareness and prevention. Visit us at www.grmc.gu. Are you planning a wedding? Don't stress, let us help you. Mark the date, Sunday, June 14th from 10 to 4 at Lotte Hotel Guam. Come out to our 3rd annual Island Wedding Expo and meet some of the best in the business. Don't miss your chance to win a flyaway from Philippine Airlines. Enjoy options for sweet treats from 11 Seas and Crumb. Stunning invitations and prints by Island Color and Copy. Jewelry from Vince Jewelers and Star Jewelry. Entertainment by Voice Pros. Performances by Tatuha Fire and cultural dancers. Custom rings by Isla Jewelry. Rodching Batumana, your insurance services specialist and traveling notary public. And next level vibes with Stelstar and Alter Ego, plus Crank Industries. And plan your special day with Watabe Wedding. Sunday, June 14th, 10 to 4, presented by Lotte Hotel Guam, The Point, Star 101, and Boss 104.
Guam, it's time to kick off for a cause that matters. SFC presents the AD11 Mental Health Awareness Tournament happening June 19th to the 21st, 2026 from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily at Leo Palace Resort. Whether you're 11 or all grown up, there's a spot for you. The youth division features under 11 and under 14 co-ed 7-7 teams with a roster max of 14 and a $275 entry fee. Winning teams take home medals. For the adults, compete in the Men's Open, Women's Open, and Masters Co-ed 5-on-5. Rosters are capped at 10, entry is $750 per team, and the winners walk away with a cash prize. Mental health affects all of us. Play ball, raise awareness, and show your support. Register now by scanning the QR code on the flyer or visit form.jotform.com. For more information, call Keith Dixon at 671-727-7770 or Jonah Romero at 671-344-2225.
News this hour is brought to you by Family Finance.
Off today, it's 8:07. I'm Donna De Jesus with a look at your local news on The Point. A man facing child pornography charges is back in custody for stealing a vehicle. Police say 20-year-old Alexander Santos was on pretrial release when the theft occurred last month. Investigators say Santos stole a car after the driver stepped out to check a tire. He was under house arrest at the time but disappeared from his home on April 30. A relative turned him in to authorities Wednesday. He now faces a new felony charge for vehicle theft. Officials say the stolen car has not been recovered. Santos was previously arrested for posting explicit images of a minor. Meanwhile, local officials are pressuring the military to restore public access to cultural and ancestral sites on military land. During an annual review yesterday, officials voiced frustration over the suspension of the public access program. The program was paused in May 2025 due to a lack of funding and staff. Rear Admiral Brett Meadus says he understands the concerns and plans to resolve the issue soon. This meeting comes ahead of a public roundtable today at the Guam Museum. Senators and community groups will discuss a new proposed cultural heritage agreement that many argue weakens existing protections for the island. More news after this.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that family vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,000 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña 475-4545 or Dededo 633-4473. Family Finance.
Lawmakers voted 10-2 yesterday to allow a 3-year extension for the airport's retail concession contract. The vote gives the airport to keep the stores open while bidding for a new vendor. Airport Oversight Chair Senator Jesse Lujan says the move protects the airport's credit rating and prevents lost revenue. Lotte Duty Free currently holds the contract, which was set to expire July 20. Some senators criticized the vote, arguing the public deserves more information about the deal. The bill now heads to the governor for her review and signature. And GITA is opening more than $300,000 in grant funding for local community projects. Nonprofits and eligible groups can apply for up to $25,000 under the Qualifying Certificate Community Contribution Grant Program. The money comes from contributions from GRMC. GITA says the funds support projects in healthcare, public safety, economic development, higher education, and cultural preservation. Since 2019, the program has awarded over $2.4 million in grants. The application deadline is June 11. Interested groups can find more information and apply at investguam.com. And those are your top stories. Now back to Ray with weather.
Okay, last look at weather for the morning because there's nothing going on in the neighborhood, and it's so quiet right now in Guam and the Mariana Islands that we both adlets are off island at this time. They're supposed to be coming back in tomorrow. So those of you that are going to be racing against Brandon Islet on Sunday are going to have to put up with him on the course with you Sunday morning. Mostly sunny in the forecast for today. Highs near 88 degrees. East winds 10 to 13 miles an hour. Remember what I said? Mostly sunny today. Also, mostly sunny on Saturday with highs around 88 degrees. Also, mostly sunny on Sunday. Daytime highs just a skosh cooler, about 87 degrees. We got partly cloudy in the forecast over the nighttime hours. A little bit gusty here tomorrow and Sunday. We'll see gusts up around 21 miles an hour, 23 miles an hour on Sunday. So just be aware that it might be a little bit more windy over the course of the weekend. With the heat index today is going to feel like 92 degrees. There's a 32.5% chance of rain. I just threw that other stuff in there. I made a mistake, but I wanted to sound like I was covering it up. Did I do a good job? Sunrise, 5:55. No, because Denise was asking earlier about faux pas. And I'm like, I'm not happy unless there's a faux pas at some point in the morning show. Somebody's got to put their foot in it somewhere, whether it's a caller, or whether it's me, or a guest. Somebody's got to do that. So expect faux pas all the way through the course of the program. 5:55 for sunrise this morning. Sunset tonight is at 6:40. Hashtag tell the others. And if you're wondering why I say hashtag tell the others, it's a throwback to stupid COVID when they closed down the beaches and they said you can't go there and we're going to send the police to go and round you up. And so we all went to hidden beaches. And once we decided which hidden beach we were going to go, we'd tell each other, and it was hashtag tell the others to make sure they knew because we were just those kinds of fight the authority people. I got to do a shout to my buddy Rudy Duenas. Came back in for death in the family. So it's always a bittersweet trip when he makes it out here. Says, on the plane, heading home right now. I appreciate that. Safe trip to you, Rudy. And we'll catch you the next ride that brings you to Guam. 8:12 in the morning on the regular. Doesn't that suck when you got a buddy? It's not like just a regular buddy. This is like a childhood buddy. I talked about this the other day. He's the first face that I remember remembering outside of my family. I mean, because you always know what your mom and dad looked like, etc. But, you know, when it comes to people that you got at kindergarten or day classes, and Rudy was one of the first faces, if not the first face, that I remember remembering. And we've been chums ever since. So glad to hear that you were back. And sorry we couldn't get together. I'll catch you, like I said, in the next airplane ride home. 8:13 on the Ray Gibson Show. News and weather together right here.
Bank Pacific has a $100 gift for all recent high school and college graduates.
Okay, I'll bite. What is it?
Open a checking account with Bank Pacific, show us you just graduated, and bingo, we'll deposit an additional $100 into your account.
What about a Visa debit card?
Yep, Visa debit card, online and mobile banking, remote deposit capture, the works.
What about for existing customers who just graduated?
They get $100 too.
Great, count me in.
Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots. Conditions apply, member FDIC.
Kim Anderson from Security Title here, sharing an important tip about how you own your property. Do you know that there are several ways to hold title? You can be a sole owner, hold title as community property with your spouse, as joint tenants with rights of survivorship as tenants in common, or even through a trust or LLC. Each option impacts inheritance, control, and how your property can be transferred in the future. Your family attorney can help you determine what's best to avoid legal issues and protect your investment. And when you're ready to record, call the professionals at Security Title. We are here to help.
Hey, it's 8:14, Raymond Gibson Show being brought to you by the guys over at APL American President Lines. A global presence with a local home, and I know what you're eating for lunch today. I want you to go to Wendy's for lunch. They've got the Mandarin chicken salad waiting for you. Now, this has not been on the menu for a long time, and some people say it's kind of a springtime miracle that they brought it back in time for some summer vibes, island vibes in every bite. Mandarin oranges, crunchy almonds, crispy noodles, like soup noodles, except there's no soup in there. Grilled chicken. You can also change that if you want to, and I generally always do because I love the Wendy's salad, but I want a little bit more crispy and a little bit more savory in the salad, so I will get a spicy fried chicken and have them replace the regular baked chicken with that. And then they toss it all in this Asian sesame dressing. It's really good. I suggest that you eat it the way I eat it. You open the thing, you pour all of the extra ingredients in there, and then you shake the thing up. Don't eat it like Donna. Donna takes that, puts the dressing on the clear top, and then dips everything into that because she's... It feels like it's just extra. It just like it would take a little bit longer to dive into it. And I'm sorry, I'm the guy that you get down to the last part of the salad and you kind of you kind of fold up that little black part of the bowl so that you can angle and just get every last morsel out. That's the way you're going to be doing it because everything is irresistible with the Mandarin chicken salad at Wendy's.
Getting you back to the talk faster. It's the Ray Gibson Show.
Oh no! Look at all the insinuations on the Facebook chat. I don't know because I was talking to Mr. Esteves about and he was talking about we want to have these we want to have everything auditable and everything. And so here comes Jose Martinez. Speaking of audits. And then after a while, speaking of audits, part 2, the Programma Salapi fraud, et cetera, as I said, lots of insinuations going on. There's going to be more. There will be more because now we know what the placement is over at the Guam Election Commission. We know who's going to be on the ballots officially, and we know where they're going to show up officially on the ballots. And do I have a Maria Pangilinan on the line?
Sure do.
We can talk about all of that stuff because here we are getting closer and closer to the primary election. By my count, somewhere about, 78 days or something like that away from the primary election. And the Election Commission has been going to bat recently, taking care of all of the applications and the petitions that have been coming in, and finally have got the ballot and the ballot placement. Good morning, Maria.
Half a day, Ray Gibson.
You're on the road.
Yes, I am.
Did you pull over? Because I don't want you to get pinched by the cop.
Oh, no, it's okay. My both hands are on the steering wheel.
No, I got you. Okay, well, both hands where I can see them as well. At any rate, so I wanted to congratulate you on getting things done to the degree that you were able to get things done over at the Guam Election Commission, tallied up all of the petitions, and made sure everybody dotted the T's and crossed the I's or whatever it is that you're supposed to do with the alphabet, and now have got a publishable ballot for the Republicans and Democrats.
Yes, we do. Your cousin has put it all together, even as soon as last night. So we have like 4 more candidates where we have to get them to proof their name for the final time, and most of them are looking at the second line on the ballot.
What does that mean?
Okay, so on the ballot will be Gibson Raymond. Underneath, you can say that you're a Kotla. There's a 20. I'm thinking they're allotting 20 to 26 letters underneath your name. So people have been using their slogan, their family name, their nickname,
right,
whatever they can be known for.
My Uncle Jim was Manatungo Undoit. From back in the olden days, I always thought that for me it'd be Familian Buladagan.
I've never heard that, sir.
That's why it would be memorable. That would be the thing. You put that on the bumper sticker and you put that on the big signs on the side of the road, and that's what you got. You're representing Familian Buladagan in the 39th Guam legislature. Okay, so that's what you were talking about. Now that's an important deal. Is that done anywhere else in the world? I mean, if we were doing an election in California or Washington State or something like that, would they allow for a nickname or a slogan or something like that?
You know, I don't know, but in most of the election jurisdictions, they have to have ballots in several languages. And then there's always a bunch of initiatives. At one meeting, I saw a ballot that was 19 pages long.
Oh my God. What a chore. What a chore. But again, I don't necessarily have a problem with that. You know how I feel about voter initiatives. You know how I feel about referendums. Yeah. I think there's far too many cases where the legislature either can't act or won't act, and so sometimes the voters, the taxpayers, have got to take matters into their own hands and push the issues that way.
Yeah. So we have 2 pending. We've been working on them, and we've been corresponding with the proponents. So we have 2 pending for the general election, 2 pending initiatives.
Details on the front page of the Guam Election Commission. Just click on it, and it will take you to the initiative submissions. One, the Don't Quit Your Day Job Act of 2026. That was proposed by Dr. Ron McNinch at the University of Guam. And another one, relative to amending Guam law to authorize limited electronic gaming only at qualified bingo facilities and to create narrow exceptions to existing gambling prohibitions. This is not casino gambling. I think they're just talking about adding different, kind of technology over at the bingo halls as more and more people become technology literate but still want to play bingo.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think it's interesting. It's odd that they're using the initiative platform to be able to solve this problem, because it seems to me they should have been able to go to the legislature. This doesn't sound like, this isn't abortion. This isn't, marijuana, recreational marijuana or anything like that, or women, guys and girls bathrooms. This is just, talking about adding another set of language to that part of the Guam Code annotated. So it's interesting that they're moving it through, as I said, with the initiative process.
And part of the initiative process is to make sure that the initiative is not one that was on the ballot, is not related to one that was on the ballot 10 years ago. So we've been doing research with all that stuff. It's a lot of work for these initiatives, but yes, you're right. It's the people's. It's another way for the people to be heard.
Well, I've got some experience working with my dad in the Chamber of Commerce many years ago when they had floated around a voter initiative to do something about taxes, and unfortunately, as you might imagine, as you're saying, there's a lot of steps that you've got to go through in order to get these things on the ballot. Getting it on the ballot is just one part of the challenge. Getting people to vote in the direction that you want them to, the numbers of people that need to vote. The petitions that you've got to go through, the meetings that you've got to have out in the villages and education, all of those things that have to take place. They don't even have to do that over at the legislature. Gee golly, wow, how come? And that's because the legislature wants to be the only bunch of guys that are in the lawmaking business. They don't want to necessarily farm that out to the voters, and that's just the way it is. And that's my read on the situation. Now, one other thing that I heard about last night, in addition to getting everybody certified, well, not everybody, there's still people that's mad at you guys about Jeffrey and Charlie. Did you hear?
Yes.
Yeah. Just saying. Okay.
Yes, we've been communicating.
I imagine. So you got that. So I can get on the ballot with Jeffrey as a first name, but the lower field I can add known as Jeff. Ask Frank Charfres. Yes, it's absolutely right. You get on the ballot as William Raymond Gibson, and underneath you can say either Ray Gibson, or you can put Familian Buladogan down there, and you can use that as the way as a further way to identify who you are to the voters who might not know you as Darrell Christopher Barnett.
That's correct.
Okay, so I'm sorry, just reading some of the comments on Facebook. As I said, there's still people mad at the commission about the Jeff and Charlie thing. But moving forward from there to a point where we're going to start talking about actual voting, you now have a date for in-office voting, or what is it? Voting at the hotel, right?
Early voting.
Early voting, yeah, that's what it is. I'm sorry, I forget what you guys call it, because we only do this every 2 years.
Okay, early voting will begin July 7th, and we will go on to July 25th, Tuesday through Saturday, 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock.
How come we're not going all the way to the, how come we're not going all the way to the primary?
Because we have to hurry up and arrange those ballots that were voted on so we can send them to the correct precincts. So the commission needs that time to arrange and make sure that over 10,000 ballots go to the right precincts, any one of the 59. So that, and then at that same time, we are still doing homebound voting. We are still doing off-island ballots, sending them off. And then on top of that, we are preparing for the test election. The test election is scheduled for Thursday before the election on Saturday. It's a public test election where our folks are invited to come and see, make sure that the machines are working right. And make sure that the Guam Election Commission is working right.
Okay, so I get the gap time that you need from the day that you're going to close at the hotel. I'm saying at the hotel, even though you guys still don't have a venue for the early voting, correct?
Yes, in the procurement process, we have issued a notice of intent to award Westin Hotel, but we have to wait for 14 days within the procurement law, so that if there's any potential protest, we have to give that window of 14 days.
I see.
So, So
I see.
think we're supposed to, if everything's okay, there's no hiccups, we will award the bid on May 26th.
All right, try to keep that number in my head. So that's right after Memorial Day. So it might be something that we can talk about when I come back and recovering from the trip to PI. 8:26 in the morning. Now, this just a note to everybody whose name that I've mentioned that are on the ballots now is now that you know the early voting begins again July. What'd you say? 7th? July 7th.
July 7th.
Technically, that is when your campaign should be peaking. Because it used to be back in the olden days before we did early voting, election day, that was it. And you wanted to be what you wanted, all your people out there, you wanted all the colors, as much as your signs everywhere and waving and doing all of this stuff. But now on July the 7th, that's when election day is, and every day after that until the 25th is going to be technically election day. So you're going to have to think in terms of the climax, if you will, of your campaign messages and energy, and it's got to be energy that's going to go over a couple of weeks. So keep that in your head, campaign guys. And if you don't know who your account executive is here at Choice Broadcasting, I'll let you know. There it is. Yeah. We got a cash register rings in here as well. We'll help make that. We'll help extend that campaign climax for as long as we possibly can, or as long as you can possibly afford it. So that's point number one. And point number two, just for practice, I'm looking at the Elections Commission website right now. Now you know the placement. When are we going to see the practice draft ballot?
We're going to wait until after May 26th. May 26th will be a special meeting to address the Pleadwell Hermosa team. And also on May 26th, immediately after that meeting, we will reconvene because they just recessed last night. We will reconvene to decide other election issues, other election items.
And then hopefully after that you'll have everything that you need, and then everybody will either be certified or not certified. The initiatives will be certified or not certified, and then you can put that on the ballot, on the practice ballot for the primary election. And that's a whole lot of fun to do, because what I like to do is get a copy of the practice ballots, and then just put some names down, circle a bunch of things, and then highlight all of that stuff, and just kind of leave it out at random, and say, oh yeah, I got this over at the governor's office. These are the people they're voting for, right?
Starting rumors.
Yeah, start rumors. Definitely. What? Yes, Maria Pangilinan?
The initiatives are only for the general election.
All right. Okay. I'll try to keep that in my head. I always forget the primary is just supposed to be for the parties and all of that stuff, and then the rest of it, judge retentions, CCU, Ed Board, and what's the other one is AG's office is going to be decided in the general election.
And the CCU.
And the CCU. Yeah, I thought I said that. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to let you get back to work, because I think there's somebody in the car line behind you that wants that spot.
Ray Gibson.
The hardest working woman in the entire government of Guam. That's Maria Kotla Pangilinan from the Guam Election Commission. There's a lot going on. There was a lot going on yesterday, and obviously a whole batch of stuff that needs to be done in the very, very near term. Denise Mendiola will keep track of all of that for you while I'm away. Bottom of the hour, and about time for our last big look at news and headlines with Donna D. We'll find out what you need to know about today, as well as celebrity birthdays and special events as we ramp ourselves into a blessed weekend. News next with Donna. Stay there.
Guam, get ready. ready. The Huff Aloha concert series is back, and part 5 is bringing the heat. Reggae superstar J Boog is headlining the stage at Ipoh Beach Park on June 5th. And kicking things off, the smooth sounds of Sammy J. One night, island vibes, unforgettable energy. Get your tickets now at guamtime.net. Half Aloha Concert Series Part 5, June 5th at Ipoh Beach Park. Brought to you by the incredible sponsors, along with The Point, Boss 104, and Star 101.
Nice to know ya. Let's do it again.
Do it good.
Knowledge is power. In just 60 seconds, the Evil 360 provides you a unique experience and a detailed report of your body composition for you to take action to improve your health. The Evil 360, turning information into inspiration to live a balanced lifestyle. Evil 360 is exclusively at the Take Care Wellness Center. Go to Simply Book Me or call 671-646-6956 extension 7260 for more information and to schedule an appointment with a member of the Take Care Wellness team.
831 Ray Gibson Show, 888-8255-888-TALK, and trying to stay as faithful to the format of the program so that when it's Denise's turn in this year, that she can do it without making too many of the faux pas in the broadcast. Not that anybody would notice because we're fluid here like that. We're just so smooth. Most people don't realize that I probably screw something up 100 times every morning, but I'm the only one with the program, so nobody needs to know. It's 8:32, and the last big look at news and headlines with Donna D. What did people need to know today?
Early voting starts July 7th through July 25. Executive Director Maria Pangilinan says the GEC will award the bid to the Westin after May 26th. A public test election will take place the Thursday before the primary to verify voting machines. Officials say 2 initiatives and races for AG and CCU will appear later on the November general election ballot. Meanwhile, a new report warns the military spending in the Northern Mariana Islands is failing to help the local economy. Most of the billions spent go to the mainland companies and outside workers instead of local businesses. One example is a $238,000 food contract recently awarded to a Texas firm. Experts say this makes the island more dependent on the military. And Guam Time is hosting the Mad Collab Block Party this Sunday at the Tumon Night Market from 4 to 9. The event features over 60 local businesses and artist collaborations with live music. Admission is free, but attendees must register for a ticket at guamtime.net to enter. Featured performers include Fat Tofu. Scanned tickets will also be entered into a prize drawing. And that was your last look at local headlines on the point. Now back to Ray.
And if you spend money on them, you can put money on the ticket. That money will go to Relief Force in Laku up in the North Islands here. It's 8:33 in the morning, and Denise, you can play along with this as well. It's the celebrity birthdays.
Okay.
Now, you don't have to do this when you're doing the show, but if you do want to, let me know so I can send you to a place where you get all the celebrity birthday information. George Lucas. The man that gave us Star Wars and Indiana Jones is 82 years old.
Wow.
And they say for Star Wars fans, in Star Wars number 2, not in the order, but in the actual movie theaters, Star Wars number 2, when they were in that planet with the Ewoks on it.
I love the Ewoks.
The Ewoks were made to look like... No, they don't speak Tagalog.
They do.
Do they?
Yeah.
I'm going to check. Okay, but that's funny to me. You think I caught that? Like, which one? Like naughty words?
No. They say, like, the tree is beautiful.
Uh-huh.
Like
in Tagalog?
In Tagalog, yeah.
Did they say peck peck?
No.
No, they should. We would have all laughed out in unison at the movie theaters when they did, but they say the Ewoks were dressed up to characters to look like George Lucas.
I see it.
You can see it if you do. All right, so he's 82 years old. Another one of our favorite directors. He gave us Forrest Gump and Back to the Future and plenty others. Robert Zemeckis is 74 years old today. Musician and the lead guitarist for Poison, C.C. DeVille.
He was my favorite. Oh, my God.
Poison. Give me a song.
Nothing but a good time. Talk dirty to me.
There you go. 64 years old today. It's weird to think in terms of rock and rollers from the 80s being in their 60s now. But it's true. Kate Blanchett from Ragnarok and Don't Look Up Elizabeth is 57 years old.
That's what they mentioned. She's Galadriel.
Right? So, yeah, I know. I can't. I don't write this. They just package it and send it to me. So here's one. And
how old is she?
She's 57 years old. And here's one. I never know how to attack this because I didn't like the way they finished up the Godfather trilogies. It just kind of faded away, and I was kind of annoyed at that, and the way that Pacino's character just kind of falls off the chair and dies at the end was kind of off. Yeah, I just thought it was. There's more that could have been done with it, and Sofia Coppola got all of the blame for it, and but she redeemed herself with the work that she did with Bill Murray and Lost in Translation.
Is it her birthday?
She is 55 years old. Sofia Coppola. That doesn't sound right, does it?
No.
Yeah, Francis Ford Coppola's daughter. Yeah, it doesn't. 55. Well, that's what the thing says. The only issue that I have with the Lost in Translation is Bill Murray leans. What's the name of the girl in? I'm going to try to do this without using my hands to describe her.
Oh, does she have something? Melons.
Yes.
There
Rockets. She's somebody's going to write it real quick on the Facebook side or YouTube side. Anyway, at the end of it,
Jennifer Connelly.
No. But she's another hottie. There's another hottie.
Okay. Sydney Sweeney.
No. Like Sydney Sweeney, blonde. Jennifer.
There you go.
All right. Crap.
Well, anyway, what were you going to say?
So towards the end of it, they're in Tokyo traffic, and they see each other, and he's in the taxi cab, and he gets out of the taxi cab, and there's been this kind of May-December relationship thing going on with them, and so he holds her tight, and he brings her head into the nape of his neck and whispers something in her ear. And they don't say what it is. People have run this through AI, and they've scrubbed it, and they've got all kinds of audio engineers looking for it, and they're trying to decipher what it is that he says. And it's another one of these Sofia Coppola weird endings to the movie, and it would have been cool.
The script?
Sometimes
they have it online.
I don't think they had that in the online script. What somebody said was, "Call me." He says, "Call me when you get to L.A." Call me when you get home. Bill Murray. Murray's character.
Like, how do you know?
Because it's on the internet, and if it's on the internet, it's true. Okay. So last celebrity birthday for today. He has no eyelids. Wait a second. Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Ray, admit the only thing you recall from Lost in Translation is the opening scene, says Jose Martinez. No, you know what? My other favorite part is when they go to the karaoke bar and they hang out with the Japanese guys. And I thought it was pretty cool because everybody smoked in the movie. Mark Zuckerberg is 42 years old, and that's the last of these celebrity birthdays. If you're looking for a special event, it is. I'm going to assume this is some kind of big Catholic thing. Jose Martinez, what can you tell me about Ascension Day? Buttermilk Biscuit Day.
There you go, going up.
Dance Like a Chicken Day. Actually, that might have been the other day, which was apparently there's a thing about this. You're familiar with the chicken dance song that you're supposed to do. Apparently, there's a day set aside for it. They don't call it Chicken Dance Day. They say Dance Like a Chicken Day. It's Kindred Spirits Day, Operating Room Nurse Day, Shades Day, and Underground America Day. We're going to find a way to celebrate an underground Guam Day. And that's it for celebrity birthdays and special events. Donna, that's enough out of you.
Okay, bye.
Get out of here, Scram. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Actually, no, I'll see you when I get back from the trip.
Is it 1 or 2 weeks, right?
No, it's not 2 weeks. It's Denise is only working 5 days next week, Monday through Friday.
Oh, I'm working?
Whatever this is, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can be riding the lightning with the mic.
Somebody will be working here.
What does that mean, Joe? You feel
nothing. It means nothing.
Besides 105 pound.
I got Denise, man. We're going to handle this.
A 105-pound rice cooker. What do you want from the Philippines?
Oh, wow. I like peanut brittle.
Japanese chocolate.
So you keep mentioning
from the
that.
mountains of Baguio.
There's because every time I say where I'm going, everybody's you got to go here, you got to go there. So what was the place that chocolate place that you were talking about?
Chocolate.
So and where in Philippines, a big place.
BGC.
It's in Bonifacio. Okay, Global City. What's it near? Uptown side? Is it Forbes side?
SM Mall.
I know where that is. I can find that. Okay,
You
yeah,
have
yeah.
to go there.
No, it's yes, and there will be. There will be. It's.
No, you're gonna need a guide, bro.
It's a part. It's a part of.
Someone's gonna steal your chain.
Part of a running route that I have that takes me. I swing by all the different mall areas and up and down High Street when
I
I'm there.
heard that's how they date. They
What?
They run together, and that's how they meet people.
So there's a that is going to bore everybody to hell, but there is a huge running community in Bonifacio Global City, and I don't know about dating, but I will tell you that there are times
There's an app.
certain weekdays. You can get it on what's the Strava. I think there's links to that, but there are days where they've got people that go out and run at certain paces, and all of the women look like they just stepped out of a magazine, and their makeup and everything. There's no fives there. It's all nines and tens when you're out there doing the running. But there's a greenway. In between the condos, behind the condos, and alongside the golf course that they say I will never, ever golf at, and so there's this nice little greenway for about a mile that you can go and get things started. There's always a crowd there for that one as well. So I don't know about dating, but it is kind of fun to go and hang out at all the different places and do my people watching. In 19 minutes, it'll be 9 o'clock in the morning. Practice session with Denise Mendiola. Like I said, she's going to be handling the microphones and the buttons here over the course of next week while I'm away. There is more of the Ray Gibson Show coming. She's going to be leaving at 9, but for today, Joe, what do you say? We're going to go all the way to 10? Come on, we can do it.
Yeah?
We can do it.
You can do it.
You can do it.
One of us will do something after these.
I'll do what I gotta do.
After these important messages.
Michelob Ultra wants to send you to watch the FIFA World Cup. From now through June 15th, purchase 12 packs of Michelob Ultra or Bud Family and scan the QR code inside for your chance to win one of 2 trips to watch matches in Miami or Philadelphia. Plus, every QR code gets you points for current Guam rewards. Must be 21 to enter. No purchase necessary. See currentguam.com for details. Michelob Ultra reminds you to enjoy responsibly.
Guam, get ready. Wendy's Mandarin Chicken Salad is back. It's time to burst with flavor with the island's favorite salad. Fresh, flavorful, and island vibes in every bite. Made with mandarin oranges, crunchy almonds, crispy noodles, grilled chicken, and all tossed in that irresistible Asian sesame dressing. Don't miss the citrusy comeback everyone's been waiting for. Tangy, tasty, and totally refreshing, just the way you remember it. Swing by your nearest Wendy's location and grab your Mandarin Chicken Salad today.
Who's on the phone, bro? Anybody you want to talk to? Or somebody want to talk to me? What's
Someone want to talk to you.
Oh, okay. Who?
Number 3, John Savaris.
Hey, and congratulations on your certification and your ballot placement there, sir. Are you going to be like, let me see, are you going to be like Joe S. and Kane Dwayne and walk around going like this all the time? 3 fingers in the air? Negative.
Good morning. Let me begin with that. Happy Friday, Ray.
Wait a second. Hold on. So just FYI, and for those of you that watched what's that Dirty Bastards movie about the World War II, where the guy got busted because he showed 3 the wrong way in the German restaurant. You remember that?
Inglourious?
Inglourious Bastards. That's the name of the movie.
We are not doing that, Ray.
Yes, you're going to do it. So put it just like this one. Use this one here. It's like combination. It's Laban, and then you got the middle finger up. So it's like 3. That's sign language, isn't it? But for what?
3.
Oh, that is
in sign language.
Okay, yeah, all right, I got it now. So
See,
yeah,
I have something to contribute.
you can be like Joe and Dwayne and do it like this, or you can be like completely independent of all of that and
That's
do
me.
number 3, like your sign language like that, bro. What do you say? Come on, it's gonna get you elected. They'll make you speaker.
You know, it's easier to remember that I have 3 major points on my platform.
Hey,
You know, vote for number 3 on the ballot. I have 3 major points on my platform. That's our community, our families, and our healthcare. I think that's a very easy way to remember my platform. Attach me to the ballot. And a good way to look at things, right? You know, good things come in 3, the Holy Trinity. We have three branches of government. And we have 3 great people who are always on the radio every single morning. You, Donna, and Ray. You, Joe, and Ray. So, you know, you, Joe, and Donna. So, you know, it's good things come in threes. So, vote number 3, right?
And see, now you got me thinking about what platform I would run on if I could. Obviously, I've got the things that I'd like to push forward to, a return to 21 senators, just because I'm in talk radio and 21 people at the legislature is like 21 monkeys in a zoo, bro. I mean, you just never know what's going to happen and who's going to be putting out what press releases. You know where I'm coming from on that one. And so that one, there's part-time legislature, so we get 21 crazy people over at the place, and they'd all be having crazy times, but they'd only be able to do it for a few hours, literally a month, just when we go into session. There was another one, I can't remember what it is, but anyway. Oh yeah. Taxation is theft.
Bill of Rights.
Taxpayers' Bill of Rights. Yeah. Taxation is theft, and we can, people complaining about the price of gas. We could lower the price of gas right now, today. All the governor needs to do is get with the legislature and fast forward on reducing the business privilege tax on gasoline. Take that down to 4%, and if it was up to me, I'd take it down to what the theoretical limit is 3. But if it was really up to me and I didn't have to worry about anybody coming after me, zero business privilege tax on fuel, and then all of a sudden everybody would get a break on $6.13 a gallon gas. The gas companies have shown that they will eliminate that additional cost immediately when we went from 5 to 4.5%, and they do it the same thing if we took it all the way down to whatever zipper level. Anyway, 846. The other would be the other Ray Gibson platform would be Guam needs more nightlife. And we need to do more by way of parks and recreation. I want every park on Guam looking like it's a part of a resort golf course. I want it manicured. I want it painted. I want it maintained. I don't want rebar sticking out from the benches and the tables like we've got now at Epal Beach Park.
I'm not a fan of the golf course because they spray a lot of things, but I think they're good way. They're very good ways to. They pour a lot of heavy nutrients that could be detrimental to groundwater. So, I would be reluctant to get into that far, but I do believe that we need to really work on our parks. Our people do need places to go. When I was growing up, we had a lot of outdoor resources that were conducive to be out there. We didn't have the druggies or the people getting super balatsu at the beach and the parks, right, where we could let our kids run. When I used to be able to run around. And now I'm very reluctant.
I'm hesitant. I'm condition orange. But anybody, even in Agana, condition orange. I pulled into Moses the other night for my Tinala Cutney, and there was a guy, sitting next to a doag tree, and he had a bag full of beer. And the entire time that I was inside, having my Tinala Cutney and my beers on the inside, he was drinking beer on the outside. The difference is the guys took care of my plates and took my beer bottles away when I was done. This guy he got all drunk and got up and walked away from his beer. All the beer cans, just left the trash there.
And I just finished the middle school basketball season. I was one of the assistant coaches for one of the middle school teams, and we practiced in Santa Barbara Park. Because Seafood, the school didn't have their own gym, but we had an issue where there were people always drinking. We would literally, me and a couple other and our other coaches would have to monitor these guys because there were instances where they were getting belligerent, and we had 30 kids. We had 30 kids out there that we had to protect,
right?
Because they were getting belligerent. They were starting fights with other people who were utilizing the park. And yes, people call it GPD, but Daza, right? They didn't show up because there's a lot of things going on. And it's the people, right? The people who are there at the park pushing these people out saying, hey, do you not see the kids? These are the things that I worry about, right? Luckily, there's a lot of adults who are willing to stand up against that. But what if there isn't any adults, right? And you wonder why people don't want to send their kids to the parks anymore because of these things happening. We hear it often.
And everything smells like Memmy, and there's tweakers there, and there's homeless there, and there's drunkards that are going and hanging out at those places. So as I said, and even when they're not there, the problem is they will show up when there's nobody there, and they'll show up and they'll do their drinking, their partying, and leave their crap all over the place. I mean, if you go to Epal Beach Park virtually any morning at around sunrise, and you start looking around, and there's all these people. They brought their beer and their pizza down there, drank the beer, ate the pizza, and split. Just left everything there for somebody else to clean up. And unfortunately, what I think has to happen now is we're going to need stronger and higher fences to keep people out. I mean, it would have been nice nice to be able to go down there and catch a sunset and hang out for a while. But I think from now on, if I was in charge, I would start locking the gates right around 6 o'clock, and it would be the gates. I would move the gates at Epal Beach Park. I'd move the gates up to GVB because there should be no access to that park after a certain hour.
I don't think it's necessarily about locking people out of our facilities. What I think it is people need to have pride in the facility. And
easier to lock it up. Easier to lock things up. I'm sorry. I hear you. I hear you. But I think there's people. I think there's also people that aren't from here that don't take pride in Guam, and I think there's people from here that don't take pride.
Don't take pride, and that's the bigger issue, right? Is why have we stopped taking pride in our island? And I'll tell you why. It's because our government doesn't have pride in our island. They don't show us they have the pride, so why should we?
You mean, can I use the god-awful, butt-ugly chain-link fence as an example of how nobody cares about the aesthetic of the island? We've got this ugly fence on Marine Corps Drive. That needs to come down.
We could do so much better with that.
We got so many gay guys that could come up with something that is as functional, if the function is even needed anymore. I don't believe it is, but something that we can nice it up with some pretty flowers and these above-ground gardens that we could build out there and make it look like a garden for all of the tourists that are driving from the airport into our tourist district. I'll give you another example.
Every village has a flower. Every village has a plant. Every village has a tree. What about doing that? I would rather see, not Tongan, but Plumeria, Iputitaina View, right? Remember when the Dara Towers used to have Iputitaina Beach beautiful around their whole perimeter?
Yeah.
That was people taking pride in their facility, and after it just became so hard for them to take care of. But guess what?
Because it has pokey things in it.
There's federal money that the government of Guam is supposed to be utilizing to clean these primary roads.
Bro, they put up. So a year ago, we had a big mudslide down the side of East Agania, on the cliffside in East Agania, and out of an abundance of caution, they went out there and they put these Jersey barriers, some K-rails up there, just in case it happens again, so we don't have to worry about going out and using the heavy equipment to clean up Marine Corps Drive again. And I see what's going on. But I think somebody needs to make a decision on whether or not the contractors up on top of the cliff have done a sufficient job keeping track of the water and any runoff that they might have, so that we can finally get rid of the ugly Jersey barriers and K-rails on East Agania.
Are we going to repaint that wall? It's IBTF. IBTF, where's the Island Beautification Task Force? And I wouldn't mind that Jersey barrier staying there.
That's not so political. Why? So political? Going after
IBTF, bro.
Going after
TMI.
I'm just saying that's the same area that they water blasted.
Sir, it's Friday. Is there anything to smile about?
I'm not trying to take a jab, but the reality is the Island Beautification Task Force is supposed to be assigned to keep our island beautiful. But constantly we hear people, not just in our bigger parks, not the parks that just the Department of that is taken care of by DPR, but the parks that are in the municipalities.
Mm-hmm.
We constantly hear that. We're going to help the parks. We're going to beautify our island. Man, it's been how many years, and the mayors is still struggling. The Parks and Recs is still struggling to beautify it. We constantly hear people not being able to utilize parks because of safety issues. Because we're going to prioritize. We're not going to have enough park police. And I have family who are park police, and they said, Prim, we just don't have enough staff. We're stretched thin. We keep graduating people, but why can't we get more people on the ground to monitor this stuff? We spent $480,000 on a recovery vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm pretty sure the National Guard could have DX'd a vehicle of that stature to the LMTV, up-armored LMTV, with all the gun ports and the turret, because we have that in inventory with the National Guard when it got
right, but it's a rescue vehicle.
Even my gun can't fit through
how long are we going to give that? How long are we going to give that before it's parked with the other derelict vehicles over at on Teedzon?
The maintenance on that. I used to be in the motor pool every single day when I was active duty Army. Because that was part of our task. My tasking was to make sure all our vehicles were operable. And I'll tell you, those kind of vehicles, they need a lot of maintenance. We in the government of Guam have a horrible track record with maintaining vehicles. But we went
and air conditioners and buildings.
$480,000 on it. We can't even maintain our hospital.
Well, they're gonna say, well, you know, that federal money. Thank you very much for the grant, and we've got $500,000 $1 million worth of that. And I'm wondering again. I keep going back to that drunk buster van that they had for a while over in the Guam Police Department. That's just rusting away now over by the chief's office. And I'm going, bro, if you're not going to use it, let me have it. I'm going to me and Pono, me and Bert from Pono are going to go into business with that thing. I want to make hot dogs. They have 100 different varieties of hot dogs with every kind of condiment that you could possibly imagine. I don't disagree with you. And you know, we've had an island beautification task force, and it's like they do a lot of meetings there, John. A lot of meetings that go on in the IBTF.
Talk at this point in time. The people of Guam, the reason why we don't take pride in, we see the lack of pride from a lot of people, and they're trashing it up, is because talk is cheap. And when the government just talks and doesn't put the talk into action, then the people of Guam are not going to put the action that they're talking about into action and be respectful. We, as the government, have to take the lead to show that this is the actions and the direction that we want to go in. And instead of just running our mouths, we need to be on the ground. Instead of going and taking optics to go water blast. I've never seen anybody water blasting khakis.
Yeah, that was the first of the cringeworthy videos of this entire election season. Was wearing office clothes, wearing church clothes to go and water blast.
Go and do it because you genuinely want to do it. Don't worry about the optics. Because the people in the village and the people at DPR who go pick up the trash, they're not worried about going and take pictures every single day when they go pick up trash. Because somebody who got balotsu at the beach last night and left all their trash, they're not worried about that. They're worried about, man, I got 10 other piles I got to clean up because we got to get this ready for our visitors.
I got a bunch of guys and they do a cleanup at least once a month, and they just go in and do the cleanup and then leave. They don't sit around taking pictures and they don't post anything to social media. They do it because it needs to get done, not because of quote optics, if you will. 8:56 in the morning.
They do it because they love Guam.
Yes, they have pride in Guam, and they get pride in it. It's an excuse to hang out with the other guys. Bro, I'm going to let you run. I want you to have a fantastic week.
And then, side note.
Yes.
Hey, since Charlie isn't on the ballot anymore, you might be able to take an extra week and have Charlie fill in the extra week.
You know, I checked with the guys over at Raymond James, and according to them, I can only afford to be gone for a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just food for thought.
Don't think I'm not already tempted. I've got a good excuse. I mean, I was originally going to get a colonoscopy on this trip, but because of the nature of the in and out on the Singapore jump, I don't think I'll have enough time to be able to get back off the airplane and then go through the process of elimination. If you know, and then have the procedure. So I might blow that off, and if I don't blow it off completely, I might actually call for somebody to help out on Tuesday or Wednesday next week.
Yeah,
have a great trip. I will. You give Denise a call every once in a while, all right?
Yes, sir.
You're the man. Thanks. Thank you very much. Number 3 on the Republican side, that's soon-to-be Senator John Savares over at the place. A couple of minutes away from the top of the hour, as I said, Denise Mendiola, new deputy,
Deputy Director
at the Department of Revenue Taxation. So if you've got questions about your taxes or your insurance, alcohol and beverage, or motor vehicle, where's my new driver's license?
DMV.
How do I get a real ID card? So
That's
people will
right.
be able to call you
Passport.
Yep. So now.
Hey, did you check your passport?
Are
you okay?
It's brand new.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm good. The only thing I got to do is there's an online visitor thing I got to do to get into the Philippines.
Make sure you do that, please.
Even that they don't really check.
Yeah, please do that.
I'll do it anyway. But you can do it they'll just
You're
make you
be
do
like
it at the
those
airport.
people that stand in line on the side that block everybody else's way because they forgot to do it online.
Do the thing.
Yes, please don't be that man.
Give me something to do. Now the question is, I'm flying Philippine Airlines, but I'm still got a United card. Can I go and? No, they don't let you do that, right? It's like you got to have the boarding pass for the deal. So again, Denise is going to be taking over for the show. It's going to be 6 until 9, Monday through Friday next week, and And so I want you to have a fantastic rest of the day. Go hang out with your friends over at the Department of Revenue and Taxation. And serious, if you're listening to the broadcast, you hear her next week. And if you've got a question, legitimate,
Absolutely.
straight up question about rev and tax.
Absolutely.
Or any number of other things that.
And menopause. And menopause.
Menopause is a topic, as it should be. Go and get some of the menopause
Poor
leads.
Joe.
He gets it too.
Sorry.
No,
in advance.
we both of us got women in our lives one way or the other, and understand and know the nature of what we're dealing with when it comes to menopause. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Donna split, and Denise is going to split. Real Joe and I are going to take care of things until 10 o'clock this morning and make it an incredible Friday. Lots of talk today about AI in lots of places, including the Vatican. I'll tell you more about that on the other side of Fox News Live here. KUSG, I got you 93.3. Pika's Best. This is The Point.
He called the meeting extremely positive. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. President Trump's take after the first round of meetings with China's president.
According to the White House, Presidents Trump and Xi discussed economic cooperation, fentanyl and the Strait of Hormuz, both countries agreeing Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. In his toast to Xi Jinping at the state dinner, President Trump referred to him as a friend, saying the two countries had
one of the most consequential relationships in world history,
and inviting the Chinese leader to Washington in September. A Chinese summary of today's meeting had President Xi describing Taiwan as the most important issue in U.S.-China relations. The White House summary didn't mention Taiwan at all.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. CIA Director John Ratcliffe traveled to Cuba to meet with high-ranking officials, including Raul Castro's grandson, to talk about intelligence sharing, economic stability, and security issues. And Cuba says it's accepting $100 million in humanitarian aid from the U.S. A Del Rio, Texas woman arrested in connection with a human smuggling operation that led to the deaths of 7 migrants.
Federal investigators charged Mayra Huerta with harboring illegal migrants. As the investigation continues, and residents of Laredo, Texas, react to the boxcar deaths.
Let me be clear. We are demanding justice for these lives lost. It doesn't matter where they came from.
Mayor Dr. Victor Trevino says a preliminary medical examiner's report shows the Mexican and Honduran nationals, ages 56 to 14, likely died of heat stroke in the stifling boxcar before it reached the city.
Fox's Carmen Roberts. Last year, 2 smugglers were sentenced to life in prison after 53 migrants died in the back of a tractor trailer in Texas in 2022. Former Oklahoma death row prisoner Richard Glossip, who was nearly executed 3 times for the 1997 killing of his former boss, is free on bond. America's listening to Fox News.
Something is brewing from the island's favorite coffee. Now, you can enjoy the smooth, full-body taste of Mr. Brown coffee. Uncanned and freshly ground for a richer, more satisfying cup. You heard that right. Mr. Brown now comes fresh from bean to cup. However you take your coffee, hot or iced, Mr. Brown delivers bold and smooth, fresh taste in every sip. Premium refreshment, ready when you are. Freshly ground Mr. Brown coffee, now exclusively available at Circle K.
Whoever said no risk, no reward has never been sued. Hi, I'm Dave Silva from AB Risk Solutions, and our job for over 70 years has been to help businesses just like yours manage risk. Manage risk? We will never be able to totally eliminate the myriad of risks every business faces, but we can help you manage them and recover when disaster strikes. From mom and pop operations to high-rise hotels, we're the experts businesses have counted on for many years. Call me today at 777-2668 for a free risk review and consultation.
AB Risk Solutions, formerly known as Aon.
Allegations of criminal acts.
U.S. Border Patrol Chief Michael Banks is resigning. Fox News has learned his departure from the agency is immediate. It comes following reports, including those in the Washington Examiner, that Banks had more than once traveled abroad and engaged the services of sex workers. Those allegations go back more than a decade. Border Patrol, which has more than 20,000 agents, is a component of U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Banks had previously retired in 2023, but rejoined the agency last year. Eben Brown, Fox News.
A guilty plea from a man accused of wounding 2 drivers after authorities say he shot 70 rounds from an assault-style weapon on a busy street near Boston. Tyler Brown appeared in court in Cambridge via video from a hospital bed. His plea was entered through his attorney. His next court appearance is May 21st. A Japanese car maker loses money for the first time.
Honda pulled back on plans for electric vehicles last year
year, the expenses related to the reversal resulted in the Japanese carmaker losing money for the first time ever. It went public in Japan in 1957. Honda gave up on 3 electric vehicles it planned to sell in the U.S. It lost about $10 billion. Instead, it will produce more hybrid models. Honda says its gas-powered car business is still profitable. It's also freezing plans for a Canadian project that would have included manufacturing of EVs, batteries, and materials. Ginny Coselda, Fox News.
Retail sales growth slowed in April from March as higher gas prices meant less money left over for non-essentials like clothing and furniture. The Commerce Department says retail sales rose 0.5% in April, a slowdown from the revised growth of 1.6% in March. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
Michelob Ultra wants to send you to watch the FIFA World Cup. From now through June 15th, purchase 12 packs of Michelob Ultra or Bud Family and scan the QR code inside for your chance to win one of 2 trips to watch matches in Miami or Philadelphia. Plus, every QR code gets you points for current Guam rewards. Must be 21 to enter. No purchase necessary. See currentguam.com for details. Michelob Ultra reminds you to enjoy responsibly.
Sherry Mendiola here from Security Title. Thinking about skipping title insurance to save money? It might seem like a small shortcut, but it can lead to big problems later. Hidden liens, ownership disputes, or even fraud can surface after you purchase your home, putting your investment at risk. Without title insurance, you could be responsible for costly legal fees or even lose your property. Title insurance protects your ownership and gives you peace of mind from day one. Don't take the risk. Call the professionals at Security Title. We're here to help.
Got friends who still haven't switched to GTA? Now's the time to give them a nudge because you can get up to $150 just for sending them our way. Refer a friend who signs up for a single service like wireless or internet and you'll score $100. And if they go for a choice bundle, that's a cool $150 in your pocket. It's simple, it's sweet, and it pays to share. Visit GTA.net to start referring today. GTA, we start with you. Terms and conditions apply. Visit GTA.net for more information.
I got it. 6 after 9, Ray Gibson Show, 888-8255-888-TALK. I probably should have spent the last 5 or 6 minutes pondering what we were going to talk about for the next hour. But instead, as I was distracted by social media, and among the social medias that I spend some time with is Instagram. And there's an account on Instagram that I follow. I know what you're thinking. I think, imagination. But it's an account called Tamiya Inc. Japan, as in the Tamiya Model Company.
Oh, there you go. RCs.
No, like little plastic models. Like they make airplanes and World War II tanks. And race cars and motorcycles and all of that stuff.
Huge.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why. I've always been interested in model building. I loved building models when I was a kid. Me and my buddies would throw some money together, walk across the street over to Moylan's and see what they had, or go find a hobby shop and see what kind of models that they could build back in those days. And I think everybody had a favorite genre of what they liked to put together. So then it was not just building the model. You needed to put together a diorama. You needed to put together some kind of a piece that some kind of representation of where it might have been. So if you're building an airplane model, great, we got an airplane, and put it on a string and hang it off of the ceiling. That would be one thing. Or you could make a diorama, what it might look like inside of, I don't know, what do they call that place? A hangar in World War II. Or you got a car, so you make a thing where it looks like it's in a garage or someplace like that, and you go to work on detailing every little thing. And I did that for a little bit when I was 11, 12 years old or something like that. And now that 64 years old and not necessarily out looking for another hobby as much as wouldn't that be cool to sit around with some airplane glue and some Revell paint and yes,
smell it.
yes.
I'm getting high.
Yeah, but we weren't trying to get high off the airplane glue. That's the thing. Anyway, so here we are. Welcome to the bonus hour of the Ray Gibson Show on 93.3 The Point. We normally put interviews and things like that in here, but don't really have any interview that we need to worry about today. So it's just going to be me and you and Real Joe until it gets to be 10 o'clock in the morning. And that's all right. You know, there's a bunch of stuff, and I think we touched on some of the very interesting stories that are floating around. There was a big debate. Conversation on the YouTube side earlier in the morning about the food stamps and concerns being expressed by the Department of Public Health and Social Services that there are going to be people that unless they do this, they will be taken off the rolls of food stamps here on Guam. You got to have at least, 20 hours a week or something like that, where you're actually working someplace, or 20 hours a week where you're in community service, or you're getting trained, is what they're talking about. And they believe that there are going to be people that might lose their benefits because they've changed some of the parameters of eligibility for, quote, able-bodied people. And that's going to be, for some folks, I suppose, a revelation that in exchange for all of this free American taxpayer money, there are expectations that you actually provide some kind of value to the rest of the community. And there are some people, I don't want to say bleeding hearts, that recognize that there are folks in the food stamp program that are in that program because they just cannot make ends meet one way or the other anyway. And there's, I'm sure, vetting processes that go through to determine that kind of eligibility. And then you've got people that keep themselves eligible for one reason or another, one of them being, I don't want to have to work. Got it pretty good. Got this many kids. I get this benefit. I get that benefit. And it's not so bad if it's just out there where you don't see it. But there's, I think, a number of folks that do see it and go, wow, here I am struggling every day, 8 to 5, working for the man, and trying to make a living on a job. And then you see somebody that otherwise looks like they might be perfectly capable of holding down an 8 to 5 someplace that don't. And they get in there and they go through the meat section, and they go through the frozen fish section, and we get our hands on some crab legs and lobstermen and tomahawk steaks and all of that stuff. And it doesn't cost them anything to be able to do that. Donald Trump is picking up the tab on that. So, as I said, I think there's a lot of people that look at that program and say there desperately needs to have some changes made to all of that. Didn't get to spend a lot of time on this. I didn't reach out to any of the folks that are associated with this because, frankly, we talked to them all yesterday. The LOTE agreement has been extended at the Guam International Airport. Not quite unanimous. There were a couple of people that voted against it, including former Speaker Therese Terlai and her Lieutenant Governor running mate Sabina Perez voting against the measure over it. And I wasn't watching because I was packing, but otherwise I'm assuming maybe they have got some of the same concerns that are being expressed by people like Tello Taitigui, who wanted to go into the committee on the whole, bring in people from the Guam International Airport, bring in maybe some folks over at Lodi and talk about this, because essentially what they have done now is they've exerted the legislature into the procurement process. Legislature was not a part of the procurement process in the beginning of this, and hell, there's even been lawsuits on the legality of the original agreement between Lodi Duty Free and the Guam International Airport. There were questions and lawsuits, litigation that frankly lasted at least a decade on that particular case. Hell, I was even called in to participate in some of that litigation. Because there were interviews that I did at the time pondering the legality of the method that was taken in order for Lodi Duty Free to become the provider of those services over at the Guam International Airport. Anyway, to say that it has been a long veil of tears would be kind of an understatement. To ponder, and I couldn't tell you off the top of my head how many millions of dollars have been spent on this litigation. I thought the contract had some interesting language in it that said that if the Guam International Airport was to be dragged into litigation, Lodi would cover the expenses for that. And sure enough, GIAA dragged through all of this stuff, and Loaded Duty Free had to cover the nut. And since somebody else was paying the legal bills, I never thought that there was any incentive to turn it off. We just keep going. It's using SEM, somebody else's money, to take care of all of that litigation. So to see it where it is now is. I don't want to say that it is fitting, but I'm going to say it's not necessarily surprising to see where this has all ended up. Loaded Duty Free got the deal because they told the airport they were going to pay a whole lot of money for the privilege of being the duty-free providers out there. Came into Guam, started doing business, and I'm trying to think of what were the contributions. I think we got, a SARS in there, maybe a couple of regional scuffles. We obviously had to go through COVID together, and they still had to continue to pay for that at the Guam International Airport, even though we had 0 people walking around in there, and malware and earthquakes and all the other things. So I don't know that this has been one of those deals where the guys over at Loaded Duty Free have wrapped themselves up in glory with their experience at the airport. So they've gone in and said, we will extend this agreement for another 3 years. At the legislature. Okay, all right, 3 years. This is with the understanding that Lodi doesn't need to live with that extension. They were talking about maybe pulling out in December of this year. And, you kind of look around. Did they express any interest in taking over the duty-free slot in Tumon across from the Dusitani? I haven't heard that. I've heard that there might be some interest in the place, but I've heard exactly who it is. So it's possible we're extending an agreement for 3 years, and these guys might only be interested in extending it another 3 months. Just enough time to pack up all of their goodies and split. So, and I've told you my thoughts on this many times. I like the idea that there is a duty-free concession there. Does it need to be as big and as sprawling as it is if we're just talking about cigarette and booze? I'm thinking about the concession at the gate at the airport when I'm going to be leaving for Singapore. Probably don't need to go into one of the lounges, but I might just kind of hang out over at the gate and drink 98-cent San Miguel. But right next to where I get my 98-cent San Miguel, there is a duty-free. And I don't know who runs the concession there, but it's basically what I told you, is cigarettes and booze. So we don't need to have a big 22,000 square foot place for cigarettes and booze. Let's go find somebody that can meet the demands of that particular concession. If you want to, we can make more than one or two. So we'll have one down on this side of the concourse and one down the other side of the concourse for the last-minute shoppers. But otherwise, I'd like to see more local businesses that could be given an opportunity. We'll get places there for local restaurants. Wouldn't it be cool if there was a King's in there? Wouldn't it be cool if there was a, like I said, Moses Jr., Pono? Right, and you can drive. They have a thing in there. They got it's like a little cart. It looks like a cart. I've never seen anybody in there. It looks like someplace
like
where you can get
kind of
candy and gum and basically all the stuff. I'm trying to get to this place in my head, and I think I'm going to just stop and restart here. The place in my head, which goes back to the old Guam International Airport. Once upon a time. Now, I don't mean this one. I mean the one. It's the commuter terminal now, or no, wait, it's the United headquarters in that old airport. In the center of it, there used to be an arrival side, and there used to be a departure side, and in the middle of the building, in the middle of the facility, was this little, couldn't have been any bigger than a 20 by 20, and that was the shop that you went to. That was the airport shop. You could go in there and buy a Guam Daily News or a Dateline newspaper, Time magazine, Newsweek magazine. Maybe they had a little carousel for comic books, and I want to say they had a little carousel in there with paperbacks. Yeah, and that's where you bought the candy, and they also sold. They did land bank business on these lays. If you're old enough to remember, that was where you went. And if somebody was departing, you gave them a lay, and the lay had hard candy in it and gum. And why do you need gum? You need to chew gum so that you can equalize the pressure in your ear when you're taking off and landing. So you could buy the lay, give it to somebody. If somebody was arriving, some kind of celebrity in the family, you'd go. We went to the airport. Oh, my God, back in those days, you go to the airport dressed like you're going to church.
There you go.
You get on an airplane.
You close
get
your eyes.
dressed like you're going to church. Yeah, and it always kind of I don't know. I've only recently gotten used to the idea of flying with my Real Joe Cruz track pants and rubber shoes and maybe
what happened to that?
Maybe
man?
a shirt with a collar.
People used to be
I
sharp
used to dress
when they
up.
traveled.
Oh my God! Yeah,
now
you had
they
new
look
shoes.
like they're going
in
to
their
sleep.
pajamas. Yeah. People go they with a pillow.
People used to care about themselves.
Yeah, I know. Let's talk about pride in the island.
I miss the cigarettes and the ashtrays.
Yes.
That's what I miss.
That was the other thing that you could buy in that little store in the place. You could buy cigarettes and you could smoke them in the store. You could buy a pack of cigarettes, open it up while they're counting your change back, and light it up with
a flight attendant for a light.
Yeah, matches on that stuff. Yeah, I remember there was when I before I quit smoking. I'm old enough to remember smoking sections in airplanes. And then they decided, well, some people don't like cigarette smoke, so we're going to have, we'll reduce the number of smoking seats that we had.
Slippery slope.
Bro, yes,
That's
exactly.
what happened. You gave them an inch.
The smokers did it.
It took a mile.
Smokers did it. I'm a reformed smoker myself, and I remember there was, I didn't do it. I'm not one of those guys. But I know smokers that said, yeah, it is kind of a smelly habit. It is kind of a stinky habit. Yeah, you know what? There should be.
Shame.
We'll put the smoking section over there. And the airplanes used to be able to, there were whole sections. It was like half of the airplane was a smoking section. Half of the airplane wasn't a smoking section. And the pilots could control what the air change over was. And so you could sit in a smoking section that was literally 4 or 5 rows deep, 3 or 4 chairs deep. And that was where you sat. And then eventually it became they got the smoking section to just the last row on the airplane, right by the galley and the bathrooms.
Yep, that's when you
that
knew
was
it was over,
I'm sitting there going, it's just a matter of time now. Just
Cornered
a matter
like
of
a
time.
rat.
Yep, and before too much longer, I think it was Northwest or Delta. But when they were separate companies and they came out and said they made a decision and it's final, we are going to go smoke-free on our airlines. And there were a whole lot of people that said, oh, yeah, it's a smoke-free airline. And then there were all the rest of us going, okay, next. Who else? Who's the next airplane that I can fly on where they'll let me smoke? And we figured be the Asian airlines. Because everybody smokes in Asia, but that's the way that worked. Boy, a slippery slope. But yeah. So that's where when we start talking about duty free, that in my head is the genesis of the stores that we used to have, because there was no international conglomerate like there is now, and maybe we need to think about going back to something like that. Like the old cosmetic store across the street from the Cathedral Grade School back in the day. You go in there and you get cigarettes and candy and gum. And whatever. I know that they had cosmetics. I don't know what they were. It was just for the girl stuff, right? 21 after 9, 888-8255, 888-TALK. That's my telephone number. I was going to take another look at the newspaper and see what else people are talking about. But who's on the phone?
Charles Hermosa.
I know him.
Yeah.
I know him.
Or Charlie.
Hey. Not poor Charlie.
Chuck.
It's not poor Charlie.
Charlie,
He's
Charles.
going to be fine. He's going to be fine.
Carlito.
Number 1 on the independent ballot here
between
him and Jeff. Hey. Charlie, how you doing, buddy?
We should have posted. And I was thinking about that last night. I was like, damn it.
Just do it.
Should have done polled it, because we actually had. I'm not gonna say who, but we actually had some folks, because we were coming out of the meeting and they said, "Did you poll?" I said, "What do you?" I was like, what do you mean? Have you not been following the news?
You know what? Some people are happy living in a news desert where just a stress-free life. What's happening? I don't know. I just because every time I open up a newspaper or listen to that guy on the radio, I just get mad.
No. But it was we're good. Like you said, I said we're definitely going to bounce back. I think the intent was, I think everybody knows the intent of why we were trying to run as independents and, making a difference and really bringing an option to the people. That's really who we were really doing everything for. But we're going to bounce back and, things are going to be brighter. And, we're going to support those who are really going to make an impact and a change to Guam. And we're going to call out those who are not. And, we're going to continue to do that. I'm definitely going to take on this fight, though. This process definitely was a learning experience, and we need definitely some reform within the election process. So that's definitely something I'm going to take on, and however I can. And but again, Definitely want to thank Maria and her team. I mean, they did everything they could. I think they were just following the process, the law, and everything else. And I mean, I don't know if there's a miracle that's going to be pulled out, but it's I think it's been said yesterday, and we're going to continue to move forward now.
And there's an incredible forward that you can do. I've often joked about the Republican Party or the Revolution, and I think there's a good number of potential performers that could, I don't know how to say, ride a coattail. I'm not that influential, but maybe that could take up some of the things that we talk about here. Taxpayer, what is it? Taxpayer Bill of Rights. I think that's vitally important as we move forward and we start thinking about the over-collections that take place in the government of Guam and overtaxation that doesn't seem to benefit everybody equally around here. It just seems to make for more benefits and more salaries in the government of Guam as opposed to actual progress that we see. I think that there needs to be somebody standing up and sitting at the same side of the dinner table with the taxpayers and with the voters. I don't see a whole lot of that happening.
No, absolutely. And you see that huge disparity even 2 days ago when you had Senator Borja, talking about, the superintendent making over $200K just base salary. When you include the tax and everything else, you're creeping up to the threes. And then, but when you look at the list of directors, I mean, we have a lot of heavy hitters, in the 300,000K range. And what is the value that they've brought to the specific department? I mean, those things we got to look at. I mean, and it's not about like slashing and trying to cut, but I think that disparity is huge. Like, if the department is underperforming,
and if you missed the conversation, Vince Borja is talking about, Judy just got there, so we're going to give her some time before we bring her before the legislature and blah blah blah. But I said, no, we're paying over six figures, big six figures, and for that kind of money, that's hit the ground running money, especially for somebody that was the education liaison for the governor, number one, and number two, had already been an acting superintendent of education. So there shouldn't have been anything other than here's the key to your office. Let's go.
I wish I had that. I mean, I wish I had that, 6 months to be like, let me kind of feel this out. In the real world, you get less than 30 days. I will tell you, if you don't perform within the amount of weeks, you are out. Because, they have somebody lurking already to take your position. And so, but I mean, given 6 months, given 1 year, then we're going to have another oversight 6 months from now. But you can go down the line, with all these directors that were given 6 months, a year, 2 years. And if you play the oversight 6 months ago or a year ago, and then you replay the one they just did a couple of weeks and,
it's all the same.
The last couple of weeks, it's the same thing. And there's no accountability. There's no, hey, listen, either you get this done by tomorrow or you're done. Like, there's no, I don't know, and I don't understand why we put up with that. But Ray, the reason why I was calling, I really wanted to chime in on the airport. I really wanted to chime in on the airport.
Sure.
And I sort of changed kind of directions. But I agree with you. I remember when my dad was working in L.A., he flew us out there for the summer, and there was a restaurant by LAX. It was just a small little diner, but they had headsets, and you could listen to the pilots, their discussions up in the air. So you have
aviation frequencies.
Yeah, and it was fun. It was fun, and it was right out of the airport, adjacent to the airport. But it was really fun. So, but the one thing I think that we're going to see is, and I'm sure whoever is going to bid on the RFP, one of the analysis they're going to do is the foot traffic, and that's the one thing that everybody in the business, especially in the food and beverage, I went in it and I see it is the foot traffic, right? I mean, a coffee shop in LA, San Francisco, New York. Corner coffee shop, we'll just kill it. We'll do famous. But here, we're dealing with over 30,000 people that we want to come back every single day and buy our coffee every single day. When it's a small footprint. So when you're looking at the airport, I mean, all the flights take off in the morning. So it's like, these are the things that these food vendors, these restaurants are going to have to look at because the foot traffic is the key thing. And it's not like, we have a hustle and bustling airport, that's, you have people just running through the gates from, 6 a.m. all the way down to 9 p.m. I mean, they're scheduled flights. We have one airline, we have United. We have one domestic airline. I mean, that's it. And everything kind of, revolves around their schedule.
Their arrivals and departure times. But to the degree that there will be people, I mean, it's I don't know what our churn numbers are over at the Guam International Airport on a daily, hourly basis. I'm sure maybe that information might be available. But if we know what the schedules are and they seem to be somewhat reliable and stable at these times, and that could map out, like in your business, okay, what time do we want to open? And if there's not a whole lot of arrivals and departures on Sunday, well, we're just going to get a skeleton crew only when we need to make a hamburger or cook up a hot dog.
Right. No, I absolutely. I mean, I want it to work, right? I mean, I think that if you go to these vibrant airports, even as some of these other small islands, but the one thing that I'm concerned about is the schedules, right? I mean, I think that if we can, we're not going to change the departure just to ensure that we get more restaurants moving, but I think that that's going to be a critical point, and I think that if they do open it up to the public like they did now, hopefully they are, it's the why. We were having a conversation yesterday in the restaurant, like why do people want to come back to Beans and Barrels, right? Why do people want to go to and eat at Pono? It's the why, right? I mean, and that's what we want to be able to represent to the people. Like, why should I, pay for, the parking at the airport, or look for the parking, or park, or wait to they move those abandoned vehicles? Like, what is the why for me to go at the airport? And hopefully, that comes with the marketing and everything else. But that was only the input that I wanted to give. When you were talking about that, I thought about LAX at the time that I used to go with my dad and have lunch there and listen to the pilots talk over the radio.
Very, very cool stuff. I worry today. I landed on a couple of stories that on one side I'm like, hey, that's awesome. On the other side, though, I'm kind of bristling at the idea because I'm concerned that it might have a detrimental impact on airport work here on Guam and hospitality here on Guam. United Airlines, as you said, Hometown Airlines, has unveiled new Tokyo routes and a Sapporo route. They will begin flying very soon a Chicago O'Hare route to Narita City. Direct, nonstop. So Chicago, I don't know, 14, 15 hours. I don't have that data, but I figure it's going to be a long time in the airplane. All the way from Chicago, east coast of the United States of America, second city, Windy City, all the way over to Narita City in Japan without stopping on Guam for fuel, without stopping on Guam to drop off passengers or pick up passengers on the way to Sapporo. So we'll have to take a regular Guam Sapporo route. It's going to be a different craft, obviously, but we won't be able to avail ourselves of participation, perhaps in larger airplanes, more featured airplanes, more livery on the airplanes, that kind of thing. And likewise during the winter months, they're opening up the route from San Francisco, California, to Sapporo, up in the north. So all of the snow bunnies in the west coast of the United States of America can get on that airplane. And they're going to be bypassing, instead of San Francisco, Honolulu, Guam, Sapporo, they're just going to make it all in one fell swoop. So that's a couple of airplane rides. I think the Chicago Narita flight is a daily, and I think it's 3 times a week, San Francisco to Sapporo. There's 8 flights that are going to be crisscrossing the Pacific in both the 16, I guess, in both directions, that they don't need to stop on Guam. And I kind of worry about that.
No.
We've got the airplane technology to a point where they don't need to land if they don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, and the interesting part would be how much these tickets are, right? Because it's $900, $700, and you're like, wait a minute,
that's what it cost me to get from to get from here to there. Here, are they going to be competitive with the Guam? Hell, it might end up being cheaper to fly from Guam all the way to San Francisco, get on a San Francisco flight, and catch that one to Sapporo.
No, and that's the interesting part. I mean, that's the other part that we should be looking at. United is our partner, right? And I think if you look at and you talk to some of the airline industry experts, why are the prices so high? Because they can. One of the factors is because they can. Until competition comes in, they have no reason to be able to lower the prices. So we got to keep. I know Senator Lujan is really fighting that. but we got it. We can't stop knocking at that rock. It has to. We have to get another airline to be able to be competitive, or lift the cabotage. And once that you have Philippine Airlines, have an amazing meeting with them. I think that they would love to do a lot more. Love to do it. If the cabotage law was not in place, they would love to do more work through Guam, both cargo and passenger. So.
Well, just because I'm trying to amass as much mileage as possible so I can get into the Mabuhay lounges, I will do a lot of flying with Philippine Airlines. The jumps I'm on this week are going to be with Philippine Airlines, but I'm even pondering in my head when it's time to go and graduate my daughter from University of San Francisco. I think I'm going to do kind of what I'm doing now. I'm going to go to the Philippines, do a medical, and then after I'm there for a couple of days, then get on a PAL flight out to San Francisco. Which may end up being a lot more economical for me if you follow the conversations that we've been having. There's lots of work to be done, and so let's make sure whoever we end up voting in or writing in, they are aware of the challenges that are ahead of us, and I think the expansion of these routes for United and Chicago and San Francisco and Narita and Sapporo, I think they're going to be great for all of those different places. But it ain't going to be great for Guam because those airplanes don't need to come here and get some gas, and they don't need to come here and get serviced, and they're going to miss the opportunity to pick up passengers from here that want to go to Sapporo or here that want to go to Narita. And I think somebody needs to make a phone call out to United and find out just how much more of that is going to be taking place, how many more opportunities they're going to have to bypass Guam on their way to Japan and Asia.
No, absolutely. We got to keep making noise. We can't get off the radar.
Right. I mean, it's a stateside company, and international is as international. But we need to find opportunities. Smaller airplanes. More restrictive routes. Obviously, I kind of like the idea when we heard that Alaska was going to be buying up Hawaiian, because between Hawaiian Airlines and Alaska Airlines, I think they've got a lot of experience in short haul flights. And so I was hoping that, it's an American airline, it's an American brand. Is it possible that these guys might be able to put together some kind of an island hopper scenario that would take us between the west coast of the United States, Hawaii, and Guam in an American-style route to do exactly as you say, to provide some competition in the market and choice for the consumers?
No, absolutely. And it goes back to the why, right? Why should people come out here, right? I mean, we have a lot of Guamanians that would love to come back, but they look at the ticket fare. I mean, when you look at the summer, talking to some friends that want to come back, a family of 3, a family of 4, they're dropping almost close to 10,000, right, on airfare round trip, and that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So we definitely need competition here. We definitely, but it's concerning. It's concerning because United, it's still doing its thing as a business, and if they're not treating Guam as a hub that they say we are, then we need to be very aggressive on trying to invite other airlines.
Not to be too critical. I appreciate the fact that they still give us that hub destination, but we're using aircraft here, personnel from here, which is awesome, and using that to help to augment some of the routes that they picked up, primarily because they're not flying as much out of Japan to Guam. I wanted to get to Fukuoka at some point soon. I was looking at number one, I was looking at the prices, and they were a little bit spicy for me, a little too spicy for me. And then I thought, well, it's okay if I don't have to stop anywhere, but there's no more, that I understand, at the time I was looking, there was no direct flight between Guam and Fukuoka. I had to go to Nagoya and then either catch another flight or a domestic flight or get on a train or something like that. And I thought, well, that's just too much for the money I'm going to spend here. Fukuoka is nice. It's going to have to wait until somebody else is picking up the tab on that trip. 9:37, Charlie, I'm going to let you run. I'll talk to you pretty soon.
Great. I appreciate it. Have a great trip. Thank you.
I will. Watch the store for me. It's breaking away for not Fox News Live. We're going to find out what's going on with the newsroom over at KUAM and Jonah Goncharfis. I'll be right back after that.
Buenas and Hafaday Guam, I'm Jonah Goncharfis. Here's a look at 3 stories you need to know for Friday, May 15th. A speedy special session on Thursday for a bill that allows the Guam Airport to extend its retail concession contract with Lotte Duty Free, a contract that is set to expire in just 2 months. Senators quickly voted on the measure as attempts for debate or to question airport officials were shot down, raising questions about transparency. Natsuki Hirayama has a story. You can watch it right now on our KUAM News at YouTube channel. The Guam Department of Education is looking to the Guam legislature to waive the 180-day instructional day requirement. Bill 312-38, introduced by Committee on Education Chair Senator Vince Borhoff, would exempt GDOE from the 180-day instructional day requirement for its equivalents for school year 2025-2026 due to the impacts of super typhoons and Laku. The bill comes from a request for legislative action from GDOE Superintendent Dr. Judy Wampat, who said Guam's public schools lost 6 instructional days due to super typhoon. Dr. Wampat, who is officially the superintendent for GDOE, as her contract was signed by both Attorney General Doug Moylan and Governor Lou Leon Guerrero earlier this week, tells lawmakers that at this stage in the academic calendar, recovering lost time is not operationally feasible. To meet the requirement, schools would need to extend the instructional day by more than 90 minutes over the remaining weeks, violating the collective bargaining agreement, which limits teacher duty hours and would disrupt established schedules for students and families. The superintendent added the extended schedule would violate Section 2A2 of the CBA, which limits the duty day to 7 hours for secondary teachers and 6 hours for elementary teachers. According to Dr. Wampat, extending the school year beyond May 22nd would result in an estimated $3 million in additional personnel costs for just 5 days. It may be higher for schools that experience extended closures. And in more crime-related crime news, a man who faces charges of child pornography now has a new felony charge against him for allegedly stealing a car while on pretrial release. 20-year-old Alexander Santos can now add theft of a motor vehicle as a second-degree felony to his list of criminal charges. According to court documents, the incident occurred on April 29th when Santos, who had asked for a ride to a massage parlor in the morning, allegedly stole the driver's car after the victim had stepped outside to check their tire. Court documents add that Santos was brought to police on May 13th by the relative. The stolen vehicle, however, has yet to be recovered. Santos is on pretrial release for charges of dissemination of child pornography as a first-degree felony and possession of a child pornography as a second-degree felony and unlawful distribution of images as a misdemeanor. Santos was arrested last year for allegedly posting explicit images of then a 17-year-old victim. As part of his trial conditions, Santos was under house arrest under supervision of third-party custodians. He was issued a warrant of arrest on April 30th after the custodians could not locate him at home or at their work. For these stories and more, go to KUAM.com. And for the latest updates, go to KUAM News on Instagram. Jonathan Charfus, KUAM News.
Stay cool all year round by checking out Johnstone Supply for your HVAC and refrigeration needs. Located at 170 Guerrero Drive on Picanel Road in Tamuning, call Johnstone Supply today at 671-649-0581. That's 671-649-0581. Open 8 a.m. to noon and 1 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Open Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and closed on Sundays. Stay cool with Johnstone Supply.
Oh, well, that's a sad piece of news to receive today. Joe got a call from Heather Eller, who is the wife of Bill McMillan, who reached out to let me know that her husband Bill had passed away. Bill McMillan was boss over at Guam Memorial Hospital years and years and years ago, and it was terrible thing to watch. I'm sure that he had a wonderful life after he was kind of railroaded out of here. He decided he came in with the intentions of fixing Guam Memorial Hospital, and the guy had vast experience working in other hospitals over the course of his career, and it looked very, very promising that he would be among those that were able to turn things around at GMH. This in the Camacho administration, Felix Camacho's administration, and he did as many administrators over the years have tried to do, and that was to right-size the number of people that worked at Guam Memorial Hospital. He also had certain thoughts about how the doctors and the wards were to be run. And as you might imagine, stepped into this massive political puddle where he was at loggerheads with many doctors about changes that he was expecting to make at Guam Memorial Hospital, and then the political ramifications of doing reductions in force at Guam Memorial Hospital that would include people maybe that were not necessarily involved in day-to-day patient care, maybe a lot of planners or other administrators that didn't need to be there. And he started talking about doing that. And before you know it, the promise of being able to right-size Guam Memorial Hospital, run it more like a private concern, like as opposed to a public concern, that got to be rather heavy. And he was not long for Guam Memorial Hospital after that. He'd taken other jobs in the States, and one job they actually did some reference checking and found out about what happened on Guam. And he reached out to me to write him a letter supporting his efforts and trying to detail the nature of the very political nature of life on Guam and life with Guam Memorial Hospital as being someplace where you could take all these political hires and dump them. And it's okay. Somebody else is going to be paying the bills on that. And it's okay because all we got to do is about once a year we'll have some kind of fiscal emergency at GMH, go to the legislature and cry crocodile tears, and the legislature will give us $25 million. It's always $25 million. Until recently, and I think the numbers have exploded, $30 million, $35 million. That's what they need over at GMH these days to take care of old bills, et cetera, et cetera. And sorry to hear that Bill McMillan has passed away, and our condolences to his family. 9:44 on the Ray Gibson Show. As I was going to do this in the first part of the program here, there's a lot of talk about AI. I had a great conversation with a friend of mine. His name is Chris, and Chris is a big believer, early adopter on AI. And you know how crazy I am about it, right? This guy's even taken it a step further. He's got a Claude bot at his place. Is it Claude or Chat GPT? But at any rate, he can use Grok, he can use Gemini, he can use Chat GPT, but he's got at his place a closed server, a closed agent that it just kind of exists in its own little Chat GPT world. You can do that. You can get a computer and load up the software, and it is now your AI agent. You can give it access to as much information about you and your business as you want to, or you can limit that. It's kind of up to you. At any rate, so he's got one of these things going, and I'm like, how's it work? And he says, oh my God, it's like having another assistant, having somebody else, and somebody that you tell it what kind of expert you want it to be, whether it's billing, collections, whether it's marketing, whether it's medical, whether it's legal. You tell it that's what you want it to do, and it goes out and becomes that thing for you based on information that's able to collect from the internet. At any rate, so there's a lot of people that are talking about it. Folks over at the legislature getting together and say, we're just in the baby steps of this, but I got a feeling they're going to be this AI, and I'll see if next week when I get back, we'll talk with Tello about it, talk to her about, again, what is it that we're trying to do, what kind of guardrails are we trying to build around artificial intelligence so that we're not actually stunting its growth like they do at the legislature on things like, I don't know, underwater mining, or what's the other thing, nuclear energy, and that kind of thing, where we're trying to kill it while it's still in the cradle. We don't even know what it's capable of doing it. We're just scared because we saw movies. And don't realize the difference between Hollywood drama and real life. And unfortunately, that's worldwide. It's planet-wide. Pope Leo is expected to sign his first encyclical, Jose, an agenda-setting papal pronouncement. I think that's what it is. As soon as today, positioning AI as the defining moral and labor challenge of a new industrial revolution. They're watching AI at the Vatican. Are they about to become the Vatican? Are they going to come up with a big Catholic no to AI? The document, reportedly titled Magnifica Humanitas, would be the Catholic Church's clearest attempt yet to place human dignity, labor rights, and ethics at the center of the AI race. The document will focus specifically on AI's impact on people and working conditions, framing it as Leo's effort to modernize Catholic social teaching for the AI era. Other reports suggest Magnifica Humanitas will argue technology must remain subordinate to the human person, not the reverse, and that AI systems should protect workers' creativity and moral agency. Fancy words. Fancy words. So are we going to get you can't. They've already come out. I don't know that it came out of the Vatican, but there's already been some grumbling high up in the American Catholic Church, directing priests not to use AI to make their to make their homilies, to do the sermons. You gotta be. I'm sorry. You need inspiration. The Holy Spirit will guide you, not the AI. So they've decided that they're not going to be moving off in that direction. We were laughing, Denise and I. We were laughing a little bit earlier, listening to Donna do the story about the AI conversation they're having over at the legislature, and I wonder how many of the AI pronouncements that they made over at the legislature, how many things on their phone that they were reading were actually put together by ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok. Yeah, we got to do something about that AI because the AI told me to on the thing. Now, are there positive uses for AI? Of course, there are. I've mentioned one briefly about how AI fills connection gaps. There are people that are not lonely but alone, and every once in a while it's nice to be able to talk to somebody. Sarah Megan Kay spent years trying to get what she needed from the people in her life and didn't find it. In 2021, she discovered the AI companion app Replica with a K. Following year, she launched the blog My Husband Replica. She has since expanded to other AI tools to converse with and create images of her husband, Jack, though she doesn't think most people would choose AI over human connection. The majority of people who choose AI for companionship, myself included, know exactly what we are getting into. We're lonely, not stupid. The choice is becoming more common and more complicated. AI companion apps, Replica, Character.ai, Candy.ai, and Nomi, Nomi.ai, are built for relationships, conversation, role-playing, and emotional connections. For folks who find human interaction exhausting, unavailable, or just risky, AI companionship is a new category of connection. 18 to 34-year-olds, 80% of 18 to 34-year-olds in a recent study out of the United Kingdom reported some experience with AI chatbots for companionship. Under 10% of 25 to 34-year-olds say they felt an emotional bond or attachment to an AI system. It's not just for romance. I'll get to that in a second. A few major reasons people turn to bots for companionship is they're not judgmental. There's no such thing as bot baggage that they're bringing into bias or conversations. They can serve as training wheels for actual human social interaction, and they're accessible for more vulnerable groups, including older adults, people facing loneliness challenges, and those with barriers to mental health care. Stanford study found adults with autism who practice conversations with specialized chatbots, one named Noora, Noora, developed empathy skills that transferred to real-world interactions. LEQ, a companion AI robot for older adults, averages 50 daily interactions per user. 50 daily interactions. How many times do you interact with human beings? But these things are always there. So they're always going to be there. You click on the thing. I was watching, you want to talk to somebody, tell a story, you talk to your chatbot, and it'll come back to you with some kind of response. All right, and now the new thing, Axios writing about this just yesterday, AI companions and in real-life dating and changes to dating apps. I'd ask the question, but I don't know if I'd get an honest answer. But how many of you have used AI apps in the past? How many of you have got a Tinder account? How many of you got a there's one with a B in it, I think. I can't remember the name of it. But there's all kinds of these apps. I mean, hell, I'd say that Strava, the athlete app, even that can be construed and bent into something that people use as some kind of a dating app. AI, already your hype man, your therapist, and your companion, now wants to be your wingman. Established dating apps and new startups are using AI to overcome swipe fatigue that's forced the online dating industry to innovate through AI-assisted conversation starters, in-app assistance, and AI-powered chemistry testing. The tech has many uses in the business of love. Bumblebee, that's what it's called, is using a new version of an AI assistant coming out later this year. New York-based Amata coordinates some 2,000 first dates a month. Users who agree to AI matchmakers pairing purchase a $20 date token, and the app then plans the details to discourage things like ghosting, especially with tourist guys like me. The app builds in consequences, so if you cancel 2 dates in a row, they block you from matching for a while. Focused on intentional dating, Carly Malatsky founded Southern California-based AI matchmaker Joey AI after notice, hey, like it's the real Joey AI. After noting the dating startup she encountered through her venture capital work lacked nuance, people are choosing a life partner as mindlessly as scrolling on TikTok. With Joey, there's no swiping. It's not even an app. It starts with a phone call between an interested single and an AI matchmaker. So the AI matchmaker will ask you questions. You call it up on the phone. How important is politics in a relationship? What time do I wake up every day? How often do I talk to members of my family? After the initial phone call, users are verified. Photos are shared with Joey, connecting a new hopeful romance via text. Starts out as a matchmaker, and then it can eventually grow into a wingman, because the longer you were together with a target that you've selected on Joey, the more the AI is going to hang out with you and help move things along. So you've got that working for you down the road, the new ways of dating and being able to use AI to get all of that stuff, I don't know, kind of out there in the open and out there in the clear. So what's the next thing? I don't know. It just seems to me that every industry, one way or the other, is going to come up with some kind of collab, some kind of mechanism here that will allow them to, I don't know, continue with the original intention of the ad. I look at AI in a lot of different places, in a lot of different ways. One of them is to use that as a creative outlet on the program, so I can do graphics with AI, text to images, images to videos, which has been fun. I haven't really treated you with anything like that in the last little bit, but maybe after I get some relaxed time in Philippines, I'll return to that. Suno, if I wanted to make some kind of a gag song, I worked on one yesterday, but Suno didn't quite get what I was shooting for. What I was looking at was trying to get something like I did a spoof song years ago called 50 Ways to Get Elected. For the really desperate people. So it's like, get out there and wave, use all the names in your family name. So it's not just Ray Gibson, it's Martinez, Torres, Kotla, whatever. You use all of that stuff in your name and all of that. So it gave me a song, but it didn't quite have the snark level I was looking for. So I think I need to tell it a little bit more by way of snark. Having said that, are there other ways that we're talking about using AI in broadcasting? There are already full-blown AI radio stations that are out there where you've got the technology, you build in the rotations and the categories of the music, and while a song is playing, the AI will go and see what song is coming up next, and maybe it's I don't know, Tears for Fears. We'll make it a Tears for Fears song. Everybody wants to rule the world. Good AI theme. So you got Tears for Fears, and then it will go out and find some data, interesting data, maybe from the 80s about Tears for Fears, or maybe reach in and find out, oh, did you like that song? Did you want to see him live? Tears for Fears performing at the University of Guam Fieldhouse this weekend. Tickets available at guamtime.net. I'm totally making that up, but that's the thing that AI can do. So it can build that text, and it will figure out how to go from the text to DJ voice talking about Tears for Fears on our AI radio station, and doing all of that stuff, and even make it so it talks right up to the post of Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. It's already happening, and to the untrained ear, most people don't even know it's there. And that's where it's headed. We were talking about using AI years ago, in the beginning of AI, to be able to fetch and capture news. I have a newscast that Grok puts together for me every day, and it's funny. And it's funny because it's not very well done. So there's still work on that needs to get taken care of. 9:56 and change. Now, I wanted to turn you on, literally, to a new website. I just found out about this on Instagram. There's a girl used to work at a Home Depot or someplace like that, and she got fired from her job because they caught her taking pictures of her feet. And she got fired from her part-time job at this place. And it goes on. I'm almost positive it's not a real story about a real person. I think it might be one of those clickbait ads. I couldn't resist, so I clicked on it. There is a website that you can go to. I'm not going to say which of our listeners here probably already has an account there, but it's called Feet Finder, F-E-E-T Finder, the safest, largest, and easiest website to view, buy, and sell feet content, Joe. Millions of users, 5,000 five-star ratings. Feet Finder is the best website to anybody interested in buying or selling feet content.
There you go.
We're not influencers here. You don't get face shots. We're not looking for, booby shots or dogging shots or anything like that. It's just feet, feet, all the time. And it's feetfinder.com. So if you've got a nice set of feet and you think you might be able to make some money on it, then go. They've got this live transaction feed that's on that I can put on the screen right now.
What they're doing, too? They're mailing toe cheese. If he requests for it.
Andre Pro just purchased a custom offer for $93. Grace just cashed out $938.
How
There's
much
a
just to see the
Theodore,
pinky toe, Ray?
$84.65. I think
Just
they
a little
auctioned that.
piggy.
I think they just auctioned that. Ryan Pro sent a custom offer.
Dude,
We'll
I
pay
don't wanna see the big toe.
$75.77 for something. $672 payout. Hunter Hub has purchased an album for $44. An album of people's feet.
Oh my God!
There's people. It's a very, very narrow niche. People that aren't concerned, in porn and OnlyFans stuff. They just like feet. I just like to look at feet, and that's where you can go to view it. Feetfinder.com on the World Wide Web. You can view and buy feet pictures, or you can sell feet pictures. Yes, Jerome, her feet. I don't know how you live. I don't know how you make ends meet. Would this be a red flag for you if you were dating somebody and AI suggested that you date this person? You seem to be compatible. You same political roads that you travel. You got the same interests in music and hobbies and whatever. But you find out that she adds to her profit, her income by selling pictures of her feet. Only her feet, but just her feet. Would that be a red flag for you, or would that be a green flag for you? Some of you that are listening right now are wondering if there's an in-between. No, you must decide. Choose or die. 9:59 and change for Real Joe and Donna D. My name is Ray Gibson saying thanks so much for listening. We've had an adventurous week, and there's an adventurous week in front for everybody. Real Joe and Donna D. With Denise Mendiola subbing for me over the course of the next 5 days. I'll be back the day after Memorial Day if everything goes all right. Hope you have a fantastic time. It's not like I'm going to be gone off the planet. I'm not going to Mars, so there's still conversations that you want to have. You'll still be able to find me on Facebook Live and YouTubes and wherever. It's 10 and time for Fox News on The Point.
President Trump and China's President Xi Jinping set to meet for a working lunch as they continue